welcome to Wednesday night on RPR Live. Good to have you here. We will see you in 4 minutes. Oh. Should we try that again? All right, here we go. This hour brought to you by Astroglide, because as Crusader Nate said, that's what she said. Hope you guys are all doing good tonight. I know this is a last-minute impromptu show. Thank you to Billy Von Baum, who inspired this evening's episode. If you haven't already, check out BillyVonBaum.com for more of his good shit. Well, look who the fuck we have here. Finally decided to join us tonight. Just got done on an episode of Pop. If you have not, check out Redonkulous' episode tonight. Jimmy was there with Pop. You're goddamn right 20 minutes isn't enough. All right, welcome to another Wednesday night impromptu episode. Got a couple things to talk about tonight. We've got a full panel. But first of all, apparently there's a government shutdown coming, and I don't know how you are feeling about it, but in general, I would say Another government shutdown. Another threat of a government shutdown. Let me know in the chat how that's affecting your life. Is it going to ruin your life? Is it going to make you like run in the street screaming, scared because the government is shutting down? You know, as far as I'm concerned at this point, they may as well shut down because they're not doing anything good for the people. They certainly aren't working for us, but don't you worry. We're going to get into who they're working for when they shut down, because they will be working, just not for you when they shut down. We'll get into that. We do have a full panel, though, so I'll go ahead and bring them in. First, we have Tommy D. Welcome to the show, sir.
Sir, I just run in the streets screaming randomly because of reasons.
Just because.
Yeah.
That's one way to do it.
It makes the neighbors leave me alone.
I'm sure. And maybe makes it a little bit more colorful in the neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
As long as you're wearing pants, that's all that matters.
Sometimes, yes.
Sometimes. All right. We have the inspiration for tonight's show. You know, he's my main inspiration. Welcome, Billy Von Baum, to the show tonight.
Oh, God.
What's going on?
Not much.
Don't
Good
try
to
to
see
cover
you here.
that sweatshirt. What the fuck is that?
No,
Let's see
I
it.
got it. Just there was
see it.
no such thing as a perfect t-shirt.
Show it.
And I found it. Well, it's a sweatshirt, I guess. It says, here we go. Don't be a cuntosaurus.
All right. I pass.
There you go.
I guess. Even though you're trying to do like the 80s neon
That's right.
color thing. It was gay back then and it's gay now.
Hey, it's
Hey,
bright and flashy to get your attention so that you know not to be a cuntosaurus, all right?
I guess. I'm salty tonight. So,
Why are
I
you
guess-
salty tonight, sir?
you know, what is this background to? What are we in a strip club? What is this? The fuck is this? What's going on?
Why
here?
are you salty, sir?
Well, you know, there's a coworker who I'm covering for, and it's just a fucking mess. I don't know how this guy fucking works. I don't get it. And I guess I should be grateful because they added the position to help with our group because we were swamped. We were always swamped I've been there I'm going on my 19th year now. And, we were always swamped, so it's good to have help in a way. But then, you know, but when he's not there, it's like, what the fuck is this guy doing? I don't understand. So that's all. Just
Well,
salty.
tomorrow's another day. Hopefully it'll be better, but
Another day closer to the goddamn weekend.
yeah,
Grave.
exactly. On that
Oh,
note,
and I see
let's
you cleaned up, by the way, Tommy. I see you
fuck you.
moved like some
yeah.
fucking papers around a little bit.
Well, I can move
he's
some
moved-
shit right now
he's
if you
moved
like.
He's moved like
Yeah, please
3
do.
things in the room.
All right. We've done this before.
I know. I love it.
Jesus.
Thank
There.
you. It's
There you go.
great. It's fucking awesome.
That
Can you
just
wait,
improved our show
on.
by 110%.
Yeah.
Wait a
so-
minute.
Hey, here, let me
No,
throw
no.
my little
No.
jig here on the floor.
No. Behind you, there's a bag that's been sitting there since 1977.
Oh,
Can you put the bag on the chair, please?
These are my bags for the body parts.
Wow. So it's getting real in here real fast. Let's bring in somebody else that is living the dream. Welcome, Crusader Nate, to the show.
What's going on, guys?
I have no idea. I really don't.
Shenanigans.
Yeah.
Now you understand why I say we're always living the dream.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So how are you? Especially since you didn't know there was a show and you managed to make it here.
Well, I just got home from work.
Long day then.
Well, yeah. It's still Monday, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think. Wait,
It's
no,
been
it's
a-
Wednesday. No, too many days have passed.
Dude, it feels like a week of Murphy's Law Mondays, one
Yeah.
after another. So,
Right.
still living the dream.
So everything's normal then. All right. Who
Yeah.
else do we have here? I see a. Oh shit. Hang on a second. I see somebody in the backstage here. Hold on.
Damn, boy. Damn, boy, he's thick. Boy, that's a thick ass boy. Damn.
What?
MGTOW Outlaw to the show once again.
Did I hear somebody say they're pantsless? Noir has arrived. The original pantsless wonder in the community.
All right.
Hey, how you
It is-
doing, guys?
Good. How about you?
Not bad. Not bad.
All right. Good to hear. Let's see. Let's get the rest of the panel members on here really quick before I forget they're back there. We have, he's got a different name in Gilded, so I'll call him by his Gilded name. Welcome, Sean St. Jerogi to the show. How are you doing, sir?
I was wondering if you changed the name or something.
No. But it's been backwards since like the day we started, so I just have to point it out once in a while. How are you doing, man?
Yeah, doing good. Trying to avoid Murphy as much as possible.
Good luck. Yeah. Hopefully we don't see him here tonight, but both of you have mentioned Murphy now, so I'm sure we'll be getting a visit. Finally, we'll add to the stage MGTOW Mando. How are you this evening, sir?
It sounds like I'm having a similar week to the other guys.
You know what? That calls for a little bit of, well, there you go. There it is right there. A little bit of a comic relief. And we
There we
have
go.
our own Outlaw Squirrel. Before we get into the article, though, let's go ahead and just roll this. I love this. I know you guys do, too. So we're going to play this just so people can get a little bit of that anger out of their system and we can laugh for just a second.
Bitches born in the 90s that's under 25 can't cook, can't clean. They don't want to work nothing. Niggas that's 31 and over get in relationships with them and wonder why shit ain't working. That's because all young bitches want to do is pop pills, smoke weed, get drunk, lay around, suck dick, eat hot Cheetos, charge they phone, get a sew and weave, twerk, be bisexual, eat McDonald's, wash they pussy in the sink, lie, take selfies, and talk shit through Wi-Fi because they phone never on.
I love that.
Sad thing
That's
is, I could
awesome.
actually see him doing that for his last show.
Right.
And
Yeah.
the picture in
George
the background
Day phone.
he has, the picture in the background he has, I've seen plenty of TikToks where these guys, these like landlords go in after these single moms clear out, and it looks like that fucking picture.
Yikes.
Why do
All
people
right.
say that in improper grammar bullshit? They watch they pussy and the they sing. What the fuck is that?
That
I don't know, but I
is
find it funny.
ghetto speak, my friend. The ghetto
Watch.
It's Eubonics.
Well, we
They
were
pussy.
monetized, but I'm sure that is over now.
Uh-oh. Whoops.
I'm kind
No,
of
it's fine.
surprised. Last Fridays didn't get you hit.
Oh, it didn't get me hit, but they decided that
Yeah.
it wasn't worthy of their ads. So, as usual,
Ah,
it figures. If they can find any way to fuck you out of the cash, will they still get it? They'll do it.
Oh,
Where are we at? Let's see if there's anything in the chats.
You know,
I
Walt
do
Disney
not
just had a good
see
one.
any- Hang on a second. I'm checking. Looks like Rumble is working tonight, I think. Let me know. I do see one comment here, so that's good. Let me see if MGTOW is working as well. Looks like we're fine
Wow, one whole comment.
over there. Yeah, well, the problem is Rumble is a little slow lately. Normally, Rumble's getting more views than YouTube, so that's odd. Anyway.
Hasn't Rumble been having some kind of difficulty of late?
Always. Oh, by the way, did correct the issue last week. So, if you have a Rumble account, I'm sure you've noticed, any of those of you that do, there may have been some issues with Rumble last week, but there was also some user issues, and I didn't think there was, but then I looked closer. So there's your channel, right? And then there's your account. So you set up a channel under your account, and you can't change your original name of your account. So you set up a channel to fix that because Rumble's just special like that. It was streaming to my account, not my channel. So we figured out that situation and we fixed it this time. But my bad. That was definitely on me. And there is a GOP debate going on tonight because once again, just it feels like I'm going to be pushing this button a lot tonight.
Nobody
Okay.
gives a fuck.
No
We
one
can't hear.
cares.
Hang
No
on,
one
Rhino.
cares. There's a delay. Yeah.
Rhino?
Yeah, what's up, man?
When it comes to your technological glitch from last week, First of all, you read the old Star Wars novels from the 90s, correct?
Yeah, it was a while ago, man.
Did you ever read Wraith Squadron?
Sounds familiar, but again, it was like
You might remember this joke, you might not. It sounds like there was a PL1 issue with the main system bus.
I do not remember that joke.
PL1s were the New Republic nomenclature for pilots on their X-Wings.
So it was a pilot error.
An ID10T.
Oh,
Yeah.
idiot.
Oh, by the way, you should be getting the form sometime tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's requested. Fine, fuck it. And then we got to get into the show. I will do it just because you guys like that one too. Here we go.
I put in an order to the Empire to send me a shitload of badasses and pillage-hungry murder machines, and instead all I got was you cupcake cap clowns and a side order of fuck nuggets. I can tell at a glance at least 50% of you are cocksuckers, and the other 50% are cocksuckers who've never been told to believe in themselves. I'm gonna shove my boots so far and fast up your assholes it'll trigger a geological event. You all reek of poverty and animal abuse. Every breath you take is a stunning endorsement of abortion. You shit stains are a collective masterpiece of failure. You cock goblins circle jerk each other to exhaustion every night. You signed up to get pounded by the Titans and probably cried like sissies when you realized they don't actually have dicks. Your sensitive pussies cried so many tears you could float away on a river of douche canoes. You glitter-toed, cock-wrangling, fairy-tinkle, bag-puffing fuck nuggets are gonna get your collective anal cavity stretched so far apart you'll think you're getting double-fisted by the colossal titan himself. I will reorganize the failure that is all your lives. I will fuck-start your soul. I'll make you mongoloid rock chop and thunder cunt scream harder than your mother's after her fourth failed coat hanger abortion. I'm gonna chop off your shriveled balls, put them where your eyes should be, put a sombrero on your head, and beat you like a piñata. Hell, I'll make you shit so many bricks you'll put the Mexicans out of business. But fear not, because in 3 years, I will turn you cock monarchs into fuck masters of galactic destruction.
There you go. And we're back.
One of
You
these
know what's
days, I'm
sad?
actually going to...
Oh, go ahead,
on.
Amanda.
Where's Pop?
I was just going to say, one of these days, I'm going to end up having to look up that anime and see if that is actually part of it or
No.
not.
No,
No,
that's
it's
added
not.
in. That is definitely not in there.
That's Attack on
So,
Titan.
but sad part is, Mando, you might
It's
remember
fantastic.
they used to be like that in basic training.
Yeah.
Not exactly per that, but they were just as creative with insults and vulgarity.
Oh, they still are. And in fact, there's a few of us that actually still remember how to get creative with insults.
All right. On that note,
Those
let's
were
get
insults?
let's get into this first topic of the night before we end up pulling a Jimmy and waffling for another 3 hours. Where is my goddamn
The
phone?
night is young.
Yeah. By the way, that if nothing else got us demonetized, the drill instructor certainly did at this point. So there you
No,
go.
is it bad? A question. Is it bad that I think
Yeah.
it would be hilarious if we can get AI to duplicate Pop's voice and
Oh, God,
replicate
that'd
that
be good.
speech?
We could do that. We could do that.
Yes.
We could do
Somebody-
that.
Billy?
Somebody should do Pop on top of that.
What do you want me to do? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Same here.
Something about me putting somebody on somebody's face or
Yeah.
head or whatever.
Crusaders got the idea of taking that last video and I guess dubbing an AI
Cartoon.
version of Pop's voice.
You know, I tried doing an AI version of Pop's voice and it didn't come out right. The only guy that I can seem to get like really good is Rhino.
Of course.
Well, because Rhino has to use a computer to talk anyway.
If you can do one of Pop, like actual Pop saying that whole speech to the USA, that would be fucking hilarious.
That would be fantastic.
You could probably
Yeah,
get him
all
to
we
do
gotta
that,
do-
I'm sure.
I was about to say, you could probably get him to do it. He'd probably welcome that.
Yeah, get someone
Yeah.
to transcribe it for you, get him the script, and have him read it, and he'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my favorite line from there is the "fuck start your soul."
That
pretty
one
good.
gets me every single time. Like,
You douche
It'd be
canoes.
better. It'd be better if you get him into uniform with the drill sergeant hat on and the knife hand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yes. Yeah. All right. On that note, moving right along into the bullshit of the hour. What is a government shutdown, and why are we likely to have another one? Fuck if I know, because they want to fuck around and find out. Congress appears to be back on track to trigger a government shutdown on October 1st, 2023, because it's not expected to pass the 12 appropriation bills that government operations before the start of the new fiscal year. We don't care. Why do government shutdowns happen? Under the Anti-Deficiency Act, initially passed in 1884 and amended in 1950, federal agencies cannot spend or obligate any money without an appropriation or the approval from Congress. When Congress fails to enact the bill, federal agencies must cease all non-essential functions. Okay, cool. What happens when that occurs? We're actually going to go over that in another article. But what about the courts and Congress? No, they can still fuck you over, but let's go over it. In a 1981 opinion, Attorney General Benjamin Civiletti said that the president could continue to exercise his constitutional responsibilities during a shutdown. With that logic, lawyers for the federal courts and Congress have said that judges and members of Congress and those who support them in their essential duties can stay on the job because they can get money out of you, which means they'll still be writing you tickets, they'll still be issuing citations, and they'll still be trying to get you in the court system. So don't worry, the government's shut down, but they can still fuck you in the ass and take your money. So there you go. No YouTube monetization tonight, and I don't care. Fuck you, U.S. government, for that. In a shutdown, according to the Administrative Office of the U.S. Courts, federal courts continue to operate for a while by drawing on fees they have collected, as distinguished from appropriations, and by delaying new hires, non-case related travel, etc. If the shutdown is prolonged and those funds are spent, then the courts say they can continue to work that supports their constitutional powers. Whatever. Why does the shutdown look likely in fall of 2023 in June? With the backing of Republican leaders in the House and Senate, Congress passed and President Biden signed the Fiscal Responsibilities Act, which lifted the ceiling on federal debt, which is just an imaginary way of saying we want to print more money and waste it in proxy wars, which we'll get to here soon. One for defense, one for non-defense for the fiscal years 2024 beginning October 1st, 2023 and 2025. At the same, the expectations were that this settled the overall size of appropriations bills and Congress would pass 12 bills that added up. Okay, I'm not going to bore you to death going over this. This is Brookings.edu. What is a government shutdown? If you want to check it out. Again, Brookings. BROOKINGS.edu. What is a government shutdown? Why is it likely to happen? Why is it likely to happen again? Because these fucking people that no longer represent us can't stop fucking around and spending money we don't have. Oh, but don't you worry. They can definitely still spend it during a shutdown. It just won't be on, veterans. It won't be on our own homeless. It won't be on anything that matters to us. What it will be spent on, though, we'll get into shortly, and it might piss you off. Yeah, back to you, panel. What are your thoughts on this government shutdown? Should we give a fuck anymore? Maybe they should just shut down. Maybe the government should just do a hard reset, and maybe we can unfuck this country. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
They'd better not screw my paperwork up again.
They will.
Well, here's the thing. Whenever they do it, nothing really transpires, right? I mean,
no, not at all.
We've seen when it happened before, when Trump was president, that they went, how long was that? It was like 2 months. They were closed down, and nothing really changed or happened. I think you couldn't get into like the national parks. Okay. Right. But anybody who was a government worker, they got all their back pay, and I think they even got some bonus or whatnot. The government never cuts itself. It never lets go of people. You'll never hear about government layoffs ever. They never cut back. I just saw a thing tonight about how much money we're giving Ukraine, and it's not just in to buy weapons and everything. It's like they're giving small businesses, they're paying for all the emergency workers, they're paying for
we've
pretty much everything
literally-
for that country.
We're funding their government. Yeah.
But it's not just
we're not only funding their
more
government
than that.
We're turning them into a welfare state on the U.S. taxpayers' dime.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, we got to shut down because we have no money. Well, we don't have a budget, right? And they're going to run out of money. But it's like, okay, and run out of fucking money.
Well, they've been
let's
out
see
of
what
money
happens.
for God knows how long, because what it is, if I'm mistaken, please correct me. It is just to pay the interest on the debt that we already own. So therefore, we have to
Right.
borrow more money to pay an interest payment, not a principal payment.
Yep.
Which I
That sounds
find
about right.
abhorrent, because if we, the citizens, are forced to maintain our finances like the way the government did, we would be in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yep, I agree with you. Any other thoughts from the panel? I'd like to hear
And
what you guys think.
Of course, the debt is also bullshit. As I placed in chat, it is all bullshit. The shit doesn't exist. It's all made up. It's fake fucking shit. And Billy, if you noticed, I changed up some more shit for you.
I know. I'm trying. It's kind of like a game, right?
Yeah,
it's like
you
find
see
the
that over
things that are
there?
different in Tommy's room.
Yeah, you see that over there?
I do.
You know what that is?
I
That's
don't know.
That's a 5-gallon fuck you.
Looks like I guess that's probably your pee bottle. That's your toilet. I imagine.
No. Well, unless you
I know what that
refer to
is.
beer as
If you'd like to experience more of this back and forth banter, please join us over in the Gilded community. Just send me an email to redpillrhino@hotmail.com and I'll send you an invite to join our community. It's pretty much like this 24/7. So if you feel like you're missing out, or maybe you want to be abused as well, we can get you in over in the Red Pill Rhino Gilded community. You can join us over there. Oh, we also do not discriminate. We go after squirrels as well. So
yes.
Wow.
Hey, Tommy, you got to get a Waldo figure and just place it at different places in your room.
Yes.
Actually, no. Well, do you even bet
They'll
it?
be in the same place. They'll never move.
Here, how's that? That's about the closest I can get.
Hang on.
All
Here,
right.
Here's one that's even better. Have him place a
Old
model.
dirty hat.
Here's one that's even better. Have him place a model F-35 in random places around the room.
Oh God.
Oh,
what do you mean? I own like 3 of those.
well, yeah.
If Tommy did that thing where he moves like an inch away from the screen every time he talks, and you put it
just
on
do
the
the stop motion.
Just like,
screen.
yeah. All right. On that note, let's get back to this so we can carry on. Anybody else have any thoughts on this fucking another government shutdown? Yeah.
Well,
Just that it's
go ahead.
honestly not surprising to me that they're doing this again.
Mhm.
Every couple of years, and it always seems to be when a certain party with an R after its people's names is in any kind of position of authority, they run this brinksmanship nonsense where one party's trying to make the other party look bad by shutting the government down. And I'm honestly getting to the point where I think most other people are as well. We don't care anymore.
No.
We just want them to stop playing games and do the job we sent them up there to do.
Yeah. Good luck. It's my fucking opinion that this government is illegitimate at this point. For example, I talk a lot about this, and I know I kind of have a grievance about it, but I see a lot of injustice. At the point where they can decide who has rights and who doesn't, let me just point this out to you. Let's say you had a buddy, right? Let's say at 18 years old, he gets in a bar fight and he goes to jail. He's got a criminal record and he loses his right to vote, his right to bear arms, all this shit. And that's a lifetime, right? Okay. Which, by the way, right to bear arms shall not be infringed. Second Amendment. If you want to amend the Constitution, I understand that, but until you do that, all laws under it are unconstitutional that bar you from your rights. Okay. But here's my thing. This same government will give you a privilege. We've all agreed, most of us have agreed, except for these state national fucking weirdos, but whatever, that's another topic. We've agreed that driving is a privilege, not a right? It's a privilege. You got to go to the DMV and you got to take a test and you get a license if you don't fuck it up, and it's a privilege. And if you speed or drive drunk or whatever, you lose your license, right? What's interesting is you lose your rights for life under this government, but a privilege that makes them money, it's good source of revenue, that privilege is restored after 6 months to a year or whatever, once you agree to their terms and pay their bullshit fees and do whatever you're supposed to, right? So you can have a DUI and maybe kill somebody and have your right to drive restored, but yet your right to bear arms, if you got in a bar fight at 18, is never restored. As far as I'm concerned, when the government decided to start doing that, they became illegitimate. Here's what makes it worse. You're expected to give up your rights for the rest of your life, which has no historical foundation, by the way. That probably is going to be argued in the Supreme Court here soon. But you're still supposed to pay taxes. So you're a non-citizen because you're lacking certain rights that everybody else has, but you're expected to pay taxes, which is taxation without representation. Therefore, once again, 1 in 6 males in this country is a convicted felon, according to statistical data from the DOJ. That being said, 1 in 6 men in this country is not being represented, but yet is being forced through the barrel of a gun to pay taxes. We've got a pretty fucked up government here, but yet we're supposed to give a fuck about their shutdowns. Meanwhile, they don't give a fuck about you, so why should we give a fuck at this point, right? Anyway,
here's something that'll
back to you guys.
Here's something that'll really grind your gears, Rhino.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't been able to actually verify this, but allegedly, you can call yourself an expat all you want, but you can never truly renounce your American citizenship.
Please do elaborate.
Allegedly, there are people who have left this country, and I'm gonna go ahead and pick on a certain group that in the red pill community has a bit of a mixed background. Say you're a passport bro, and you decide to move over to the Philippines. You can tell the U.S. government that you don't want to be a citizen of that of that government anymore. Excuse me.
Right.
And allegedly, the U.S. government's like, nah, you're still a citizen. You got to pay your taxes. Allegedly, that is.
We'll stick to allegedly, but I'm really not fucking surprised. Nothing surprises me anymore. Nothing fucking surprises me anymore. You want to see a work of fiction that just is astounding? Let's stop screen on the other thing here, and I'm going to bring up the other one that Crusader just gave me backstage here. I want you guys to see this because this is just a wonderful work of fiction. Let's pop this up here, and it is. It's a work of fiction. The only reason this exists is because we agree it does. Okay, if we all collectively stop agreeing that this fucking thing exists, it doesn't fucking exist. It's a social contract, and it's not even backed by gold anymore, so it really doesn't fucking matter. Sorry that it is not full screen. Let me fix that. There we go.
There's Charles Bronga in the chat who said that it is backed by public lands. I've been trying to confirm this. So Charlie Bronga, Charlie Bronga, if you can, put some sources or links into the chat if you can. I don't know if they can because they're not a mod, but we can give it a try.
You know what? Just send me a link to that, redpillrhino@hotmail.com. I'll check that out.
That too.
But yeah, here you have a shit ton of numbers, and I know they're tiny. And for those of you that are listening and not watching, yeah, well, that's a personal problem. I'd rather not get into on a live stream. God damn it. Look at this. Okay, so I know you got to squint really hard to see it. Come on, Crusader. Here's your fucking moment. You got to squint really hard to see it. U.S. national debt, 33 trillion, right? Am I reading that right? 33 trillion in debt. And the numbers just keep...
114 billion, 371 million, and hundreds of thousands are changing repeatedly.
Yeah, it just keeps changing. Meanwhile, debt
Yeah.
per citizen, which this is interesting. Debt per citizen is 98,650 per person. Okay, but yet debt per taxpayer is $255,353. Maybe somebody on the panel can explain to me the difference there. Why the taxpayer owes more than the citizen? Because the citizen is the taxpayer.
Not every citizen is a taxpayer until they're 18,
Correct.
or they're
Okay.
incurring an income to be taxed.
That
That
makes
number's
sense. All
going
right.
up faster than Pops' ex, allegedly.
Oh, damn.
Oh
wow.
God.
All right,
Holy
now here we
fuck.
go. Here we go. That was a good burn, but we have 335,273,181 people living in this country, except for the hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants that they're not counting on that board that are also leeching from this fucking system now. So there you go. That is
Hundreds
your
of
debt
thousands.
clock.
I thought it
I'm
was
pretty
11
sure.
million during
11
this
million?
administration.
Okay. It
In the
gets
past
worse
3
every
years.
fucking time.
Yeah.
Oh my fuck.
Well,
Yeah, every time I think it's bad, it gets worse.
It always is worse.
living the dream. Living the dream, brother. Living the dream.
Jesus Christ. Fuck the dream. I want off. All right. Let's take a look back at this original article, though. Did I miss anybody? Did anybody else want to pitch in anything before we move on here?
I do
you
have a
should
question
full
I want to
screen
ask
me.
real quick.
I wanted to.
Bueller?
Go ahead.
Are they also taking into consideration the number of individuals that are dropping off the census when they're updating that calculator every second?
Probably not.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah.
Because technically speaking, if I were to drop off the census, that means that whatever my share is that's unpaid would go to all of, well, everyone else equally. Just
Yeah.
saying.
By the way,
For sure.
I know this doesn't apply to the majority of you watching, but I know we do have a few fans in Colorado. We have a thing called a Tabor law here, in which you get your money back from the government of which they didn't spend. What they're trying to do is tell you that if you vote no on the Tabor refund, that it's going to reduce property taxes. Do not buy that bullshit. What they're really going to do is fuck you in the ass. I think it's HH is the proposition. If you are in the wonderful liberal shithole of Colorado, keep your fucking refunds. Don't go for the property tax deduction shit, because that is not going to benefit you whatsoever. Just putting that out there, because I know we have like 5 guys I know that are local here. So just if you are voting in this corrupt system, vote no. All right.
So, Rhino, you're implying that the government in your state would be lying to its citizenry. That would
Yeah.
never happen.
Shocking.
Never.
Shocker.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute. The government lied to the people? What?
Hmm.
Yeah, that never happens aside from
Oh.
Hillary, aside from Russian collusion, aside from I'd better not say anymore.
We would be doing multiple
Yeah.
24-hour streams just to cover maybe about 20% of the lies told.
No kidding. And then they wonder why
That's
no
just
one
the
believes them
headliners.
about aliens.
Right. Oh, no. Here's
Yes.
the thing. Here's the thing. Let me. This is a little waffle, but you mentioned it, so fuck it.
God
Um,
damn it.
No. It's still relevant. You fuck your citizens for 3+ years now. You make mom and pop shut down their business because, heaven forbid, they end up being a grandma killer. Right? We can't have that, even though the statistics of the coof killing people is very fucking small. You let big business stay open, though. So mom and pop, local restaurants, anybody that was private sector, little guys, they're fucked. But big corporations, they got to stay open, and that was fine. Record profits. Meanwhile, the workers in this country are getting fucked. Wages aren't meeting inflation. Yet we're supposed to care now. I don't know. It just seems a little far-fetched that they keep fucking us in the ass with no lube, no reach around, and yet we're just supposed to be okay with it. I don't know about you, but I, for one, am pretty goddamn sick of it. I have no I have no respect left for the system whatsoever. The system doesn't give a fuck about you. They have no problem profiting off of you and exploiting you. But as far as, doing their job, they're not. Fuck them. Anyway, panel, final thoughts, and we'll jump back into this.
Raven brings up a good comment. No profits left behind. Citation
Yeah, no shit.
for the government.
Look at the
That
one
is
right
true.
after that.
Now that all the police have been defunded, we are seeing all the big businesses close in high crime areas.
Well,
typically
look.
business close in high crime areas because, well,
They're getting ripped off.
money.
They can't make a profit.
Well, it's more than just the thin blue line here. Okay. You got to understand, again, people are at the point where they don't fucking care. I'm not saying everybody that had a job and no longer can afford to live is out committing crime, but there are a lot of people that are at that point where they're just like, you know what, fuck it. Now I'm aware every time somebody shoplifts from my store, I get to pay more for it, and so do you. Everybody gets to pay more. You know how Walmart fixes their theft problem? They raise the prices on everything. So I'm aware, but people have been fucked for 3 goddamn years, and they're just sick of it. The thin blue line shit, these are the same cops that forced people to go home from church. Just remember that. Remember who we're talking about here. So
You're
I'm not going to...
You're missing my point.
Well, my point here is I'm not going to say defund the police was the whole fucking issue, because to be quite honest, they weren't really giving a fuck the last decade or so anyway. But anyway, Tommy, go ahead.
Agreed. No, my point was, since they have defunded the police, now we're seeing the fruit of that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you're seeing all these big retailers just close it out, get the fuck out.
Well, what's the incentive of being in a town again?
Well, if
It's
you're going
not
to have a
just that
negative profit margin, that's called losing money.
It's not just that the police don't show up for all these shoplifters, and the liberal cities are encouraging the theft by saying something under like $700. I don't remember the exact number, but they're encouraging this shit. But here's the other thing: police don't even show up to assaults and thefts and robberies. They don't even fucking show up to half this shit anymore. So why is my taxpayer money going to an egotistical cocksucking asshole that gets in my face and expects me to bow down to his authority? Fuck you. I don't know. I'm tired of my money going to useless fucking cunts that don't do their job to begin with. Heaven forbid I call in an actual grape in progress. They don't fucking show up. So who the fuck cares about these assholes anymore? I don't. That's just me.
Right.
So.
Speaking of that kind of behavior, have you guys seen any of the videos out of Philadelphia?
Oh,
no.
I've been hearing Philadelphia
How have you not
for a
seen
while, but
riots
text.
And they're raiding stores left and right? You guys haven't seen any of that?
The one from
I guess my algorithm is not honed in on it.
Oh,
I've
my
seen plenty of
algorithm is
videos
dialed
of
in.
riots, but I don't know about Philadelphia specific.
There's something happened down there, and now it's all let's raid the stores because the stores need to be cleaned out for reparation. For
so was it another
Oh,
melanated
okay.
American got deleted?
Something to that
no.
effect.
The
Something
cop,
to
Oh,
that
likely.
effect.
the cop that deleted him had his charges dismissed.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter.
Here's my summary. And again, this is my opinion. This is my show. I can be wrong. Fucking sue me if you don't agree with me. But here's the thing. Again, you have the government that proves to you the last 3 years. I mean, actually, the last few decades, let's be honest, they don't give a fuck about you. Okay? They don't give a fuck about your business. They don't give a fuck about our veterans. They don't give a fuck about anybody but themselves. They want to go out until they're geriatric and fucking blue screen of death on a live press conference. But heaven forbid they help you or they help the veteran that's struggling. Fuck those people. Fuck the citizens. But somehow they know all the stocks. They know all the insider stuff. I don't even know where to begin. But between the cost of living going up, between them raising the interest rates again last week, the way they're just behaving in general, and then they want you to believe this shutdown thing is something you should care about. How about you just fucking stop fucking letting the cost of food and gas go up? Maybe you could start there. Maybe you could just stop printing fucking money. Maybe you could just stop. Let me say that again: printing fucking money. Heaven forbid we bring back the gold standard, but that's how other countries' leaders gets deleted. Anybody that tries to bring back gold over the U.S. petrodollar, they get deleted. They get drugged to the streets. I don't know if you paid attention to that, but anyway, this just gets me spun up. They don't give a fuck about you, but they want you to give a fuck still. They want you to be plugged into mainstream media and believe every lie they tell you. And quite frankly, it doesn't matter who wins this election. Everybody talks about the right or the fucking left, and my guy's going to save everybody. Well, if your guy was going to save everybody, then why didn't your guy save everybody when he had the opportunity? Just food for thought. Nobody gives a fuck about you. They're rolling up the carpet behind them, and you're the one that gets fucked. Just remember that. Anyway, panel.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I got a question.
Yeah,
has anybody actually cared? Has anybody in the government cared for we the people since the last millennia? Just asking for a friend.
No. Fuck no.
No, they get
If
paid
there are employees who have zero to little influence on how things can go about. I would say ask me how I know, but some things I like to keep private.
We'll leave it at that.
I just, by the way, I just put in a link to some of the riots. The one I put in is only like 40 seconds.
Okay, we can take a look at that here shortly.
If you want,
yeah, we can do that.
Let
me jump.
Mostly peaceful protest.
Yeah, let me jump back into this. Let me jump back into this. God damn it, this dog shit that's on this side of the screen now. That's so fucking annoying. Getting used to that. Anyway. What is a continuing resolution? When Congress hasn't passed appropriation bills for an entire fiscal year, it sometimes passes temporary spending bills. Continuing resolutions, that's all they're fucking doing, that fund government operations until a specified date. It's just a bunch of bullshit, really. How common are government shutdowns? There have been 4 shutdowns where operations were affected more than one business day. In 1995, 1996, Clinton and the Republican Congress were unable to agree. Who cares? Moving right along, looks like that was 26 days. In 2013, a standoff over funding the Affordable Care Act, the Unaffordable Care Act. I love how every fucking bill they put up, this really pisses me off too. The Patriot Act was the most tyrannical fucking piece of legislature ever passed. The Affordable Care Act was the most unaffordable way to fuck people out of being able to see a fucking doctor. If you don't have insurance that's private, which by the way, you're wasting your money because you have to spend $1,000 at minimum before you can even get your deductible from, you can even get your payments from them. Then you have Medicaid, which by the way, it should only be used for emergencies. But if you can't get that, then you might have to shell out $200 just to have the doctor look at you. It's all a bunch of fucking bullshit. And they know it. They can get away with it. They can keep raising rates. It's the same thing with fucking car insurance, but don't get me started on that. They know they've got you by the balls because it's compulsory. They've got a monopoly on it, and they just keep raising rates. Fuck them. But anyway, fuck the Affordable Care Act. What impact do government shutdowns have on overall economy? They're going to put this so nice. A shutdown of a few days is a hassle. It undermines public confidence in the capacity of the U.S. politicians to do the people's business. No. I don't even need to read all this. You know what it does? Nothing. It does nothing. Are they going to shut down non-essential workers? Non-essential? Maybe. And then they get their back pay, and like Billy was talking about a little bit there, I don't know if it was before the show or during the show, but they got bonuses, they got extras, so it didn't affect them. Your courts are still open, your police officers are still fucking writing arbitrary tickets for fucking the lane change you fucking forgot to put your blinker on. They don't really give a fuck. You know what they are going to do, though? Did you like going to your local reservoir, lake? Did you like doing anything on a national park? They'll shut that down. They'll put a little bar or a little chain or some bullshit up and say, it's shut down now. Magically, this park that is natural land you can't go on because the government is shut down. Fuck you. It's such bullshit. And that's how they get you. Oh no, I can't go camping anymore. I better fucking, participate in this bullshit system. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage. I'm going to close this article out. The next one we're going to talk about is what happens during a government shutdown. It's a little bit easier to digest. This one just pisses me off. But it's all a fucking scam, man. And again, this is a distraction. All this is about is keeping your eyes off what's really going on. Keep in mind, they're trying to bring back lockdowns and the mandates and all the bullshit that you're supposed to listen to. They're filling fucking blue cities with illegal immigrants, which don't fucking belong here, and that's fine. They're telling Arizona that they can't have shipping containers as a temporary wall for the Trump-era wall that wasn't finished. The federal government is telling Arizona they can't do that. They need to tear it down. Arizona says, fuck no. You're not supposed to pay attention to all that over here. You're supposed to be worried about the shutdown over here. This is supposed to be the big scary thing today. Not all the illegal military-age men crossing your border that hate you. Don't look at that. Don't look at the government shutdown. That's scary. Can't have that. Bullshit. Panel, back to you.
So
We really need a
I'm trying
thug
to
life
look
for you,
this
dude.
up because there was a.
Oh, wait.
I gave
I
it
can
to
do
him.
There we go.
Because I'll be honest, nothing that you said seems like it was factually incorrect.
It was just ranting, but yes.
So something I
How does
noticed
that
that
make you
was
feel?
missing from that segment that you read, because I experienced this in 2011. There was a period where there was I guess they're calling it a debt ceiling crisis and not a shutdown.
Jesus.
Trying to get it accurate now because I'm like, wait a minute, I had to go without pay for almost a month when I was on active duty.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? My landlord didn't care. My ability to go buy food did not care.
Yep.
This is how it affects people during a shutdown or when they do something like reduced pay and then they reimburse you later on. But
Yeah, no,
for the
they punish
couple
you.
months, for the couple of months that's in effect, people are suffering, and especially in a day like today where I doubt anybody, unless they're very well off, has a savings account over $1,000, which is what, less than 60% of the country.
Here's something else. I'm going to jump in on you.
You're going to suffer.
gonna jump in
you're
on you.
going to be eating top ramen and SpaghettiOs.
Here's something to add to that. It is speculated by economists, fucking economists. It is speculated that the American savings accounts will be gone by mid-October. And I did have Rusty talking about this morning on Brandon Trueblood's show. If you didn't catch this morning's show, maybe go back and check it out. Essentially, what is going on is Americans have been living off their credit cards instead of fixing their budget to chop out that dinner or that fucking lobster they bought, whatever the fuck, or their movie theater tickets, their vacations, whatever they were doing. They didn't want to give up the luxuries of their life, which I look, you should be able to enjoy your life. I get that. But with everything going on, people have been using their credit cards, which is a really stupid fucking idea. Don't be that fucking asshole. If you're living on your credit card to buy groceries, you are fucking up. Unfuck your life and figure something out. All right? And I'm not saying that the solution is take on 2 jobs and slave away and never have time for your family. What I am saying is credit cards are predatory. They want your money and they want to keep you in debt for as long as fucking possible. Don't do that. But it is speculated that right during this government shutdown, that Americans are going to run out of money. No savings. Just like all their money in their savings accounts are gone. Again, Sean brings up a good point. The fact that the government workers, especially if they're non-essential, even though, Sean, were you active duty at the time?
Yeah, and their active duty is always, military is always essential no matter what.
Allegedly.
But yet
Show up to work.
they still cut your pay. They still say,
They
no,
won't
you
pay
don't.
you.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
depends. Certain units will no longer be able to do training because that costs money and there's no money into providing the logistics. All they're
Yeah.
going to do is show up to work and they'll do bullshit training. They will find a way to make up the time with something because there is no such thing as an off day unless you have leave, or you could say the weekend is an off time, but you're always subject to recall at a second's notice.
Yeah. And the thing is I think not just military, which is fucked up. I mean, there should be no fucking reason, regardless of what the fuck is going on, as long as a constitutional republic stands, that our military should be cut off and penalized for fuckwits that know nothing about the real world in their fucking luxury goddamn mansions that have been in politics their entire life and have never worked a real job. I don't think there's one fucking reason any member of the military, whether active duty or reserve, should suffer because of the incompetence of a piece of shit corrupt government. That's my take on it. But I did have something I saw in the chat. Where'd it go? It went away. Somebody said something about Crusader. If you see it, pop it up on the screen there. But somebody said something about a lot of people aren't going to pay their credit cards back. Yeah. What the fuck are you going to do? You got $10,000 in credit card debt and you can't feed your family and you're not getting paid enough to keep up with the cost of the living and you're going to fucking pay your credit cards back? No. Everything's going to fucking default. People are not going to pay their car payments. People are not going to pay for fucking anything except food and rent or mortgages. That's it. People are going to stop paying for their insurance. It's going to get bad, man. These people can't keep pushing you and expect to just get away with it. They can't. They can't. As I've heard going around on the internet a lot lately, this is unsustainable. This is how you get a fucking economic collapse. We are not in a recession. We are in a depression. If you look at the fucking numbers and compare the cost of living and the earnings from the Great Depression to today, you're going to see a huge discrepancy. If you were making poor people money in the Great Depression, that would equate to $80,000 a year now. If you were making even $1 less than $80,000 a year, you're making less than a person that was struggling in the Great Depression made, adjusted for inflation. That's some fucked off shit, man. So when they tell you we're in a recession, things are on a downward spiral, but they'll recover. Nope, you're being lied to. Anyway, panel again.
Here's the thing I'm going to point out on that, Rhino. If the other guy were in office right now and the exact same economic conditions were going on, we would be hearing we're in the worst depression since the 1930s and all this other stuff. The only reason they're not calling it what it actually is because they want to make a certain house plant look good.
Yeah, you're right. All right, panel, anything else you want to add to the discussion before we jump to the next article? Then we're going to go to a quick break. But anything else you guys want to throw in there?
If you pay attention,
good.
If you actually pay attention to what's going on, we're in the midst of a collapse as a civilization. I'll get that word out in a minute. On top of that, we're in the midst of an invasion. On top of collapse. Now call it what it is, folks. We're in the midst of a collapse of our great nation, as well as an invasion into our country.
Yeah.
Until people understand what's actually going on, what do you say, man?
There's nothing.
Ella, you're not wrong.
There's nothing you fucking can't say. But my question, gentlemen, each one of you, when is enough for you? Just asking, because I'm already at the fucking point where, fuck this. Why the fuck should I listen to these fucking assholes? With this what's your point? When do you, in the chat, when do you say enough is enough? When is this enough?
Sadly, for a lot of people, it's too late when it becomes enough.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
It's gotta hit your stomach. Somebody the other day said on True Blood stream, it's when the famine hits.
That's coming. Crusader, jump on in.
As a very wise man once said many years ago, always train harder than you ever expect to have to perform. If you live within your means, and if you are capable, ready, willing, and capable of being able to live a far more uncomfortable life than the vast majority of the people around you, even when they think the conditions suck, you're living in luxury.
Yeah.
If you look at it this way, the people who are, sipping their God knows whatever out of whatever coffee shop at $10 a cup every morning, how many of those people know how to grow their own tomatoes? How many of those people know how to go fishing? How many of those people have ever gone fishing? How many of those people know how to hunt? How many of those people know how to prepare and preserve their own foods? how many of those people are strong enough to know how to do the things that some of the others of us in society have been doing as a way of life? Not many people talk about it, but in 1929, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, if you're watching this show right now and you're not on the program that Crusader's talking about, get on the program. Start learning some of the stuff he's talking about. You're going to need it. Crusader, floor is yours.
Yeah. In 1929, it's been scrubbed out of a vast majority of the history books that have been written after the year 2000, where they discussed when the market crash of 1929 occurred, close to 60% of the bankers and investment people that worked in New York City lost everything. People were talking about the sound of sandbags hitting the sidewalks. It wasn't sandbags. It was human bodies of people jumping out of office buildings.
Yeah.
Let's just say I was aware of an event like that in New York within the past 25 years of hearing those same sounds. It does sound like a bag of sand hitting concrete. It's kind of surreal. It's one of those things. It's like a rattlesnake. You think you heard it until you've heard it. But that's what's going to happen. Imagine, look at, not many, okay, a good portion of people that are probably paying attention to this stream are aware of what happened in 2007 and 2008 with the market crash, the mortgage crisis, the whole auto bailout, everything else. People freaked out and panicked when that happened.
Yeah.
What if I told you that was just a pregame commercial compared to what happened in 1929?
Yeah.
How many people are going to be able to live their lives in a position to where they can exist comfortably without needing those markets, without needing that global connection, without needing that social structure? I guarantee you, those people who buy their $10 cup of coffee every morning or whatever the hell they're drinking on their way to work, as they wear their little hipster jeans and whatever the fuck they do with their lives. Sorry about the language.
No, you're fine. We've been demonetized for a minute, I guarantee it.
Well, gay ass shit.
Imagine the people. Imagine the level of comfortability that those people have lived with their entire lives. Now, when they can't do that, they think they're struggling. And how many of those people are going to use the self-checkout line within 90 days of everything collapsing? Just asking for a friend.
90 days is an overestimate, but yeah, I can see that.
Here's something I'd like to touch on with that, if I may. And it kind of corresponds to something that you've been talking about for a while right now. There's also a lot of people that are on a lot of very expensive meds that when they can't get their stuff because they no longer have the government subsidy for it, they're going to be put in a situation where they're essentially choosing, do I go ahead and suffer through, or do I go ahead and self-delete? I'm going to take a wild shot in the dark and say a lot of them are going to self-delete because for the ones that are on head meds, they don't have the willingness to do what they need to try to push through.
Well, that's why they're on some of those meds, because they normally without them, they don't have the capacity to go through processes to,
they don't have the,
I guess you could say, come to the same conclusion that you're saying, that they need to just tough this out, or they need to come up with a better way to deal with the problem that they're doing or that they're dealing with, because their brain has, hey, you guys know this. I deal with it on a daily basis. But yeah, adults who, it's hard to say it. Adults who rely on this stuff, like especially people with, let's say, bipolar disorder, they can't get lithium. They go off the rails, and they go off the rails in a really bad way. And sometimes it's on their own accord. But when you're in a crisis like this, it exacerbates the condition.
You bring up several good points. And Crusader, I'm sure you have the statistics somewhere in that 30-pound brain of yours. For one, before we get to that point, I want to talk about a couple others. You do have an obesity pandemic. That is a real pandemic in this country. What is it? Like 80% of this fucking country is overweight or obese. Something stupid.
It's pretty much endemic at this point.
Fat
And a lot of
bastards.
those people, as we're well aware, Jack isn't on the show to remind me tonight, but a lot of those people are pre-diabetic and have fatty liver and maybe heading towards diabetes, which means they need insulin, right? And without insulin, what happens to you? You don't end up doing very well. I'll just leave it at that. You have people that, unfortunately, through no choice of their own, and I wouldn't ask for it or wish upon it on anybody, but some people get cancer, right? Sometimes you end up missing some pieces, like your thyroid, and you have to take things like Synthroid. What happens when they can't get that? Then they feel sick, miserable, and barely able to get out of bed. That's fucked too. And then this is one where Crusader's brain comes in. There are a lot of people in this country on head meds. A lot of those people. Some of those head meds, it says right on the fucking bottle in the warning label, do not stop taking, may lead to schizophrenia, for fuck's sake. Talk about a zombie apocalypse. You don't need to worry about the living dead. You've got those motherfuckers. If they don't have their medicine, it's game on, man. Crusader, do you know the statistics by chance on how many people in this country are taking some kind of mind-altering substance prescribed?
Allegedly between 40 to 66% of individual with 2 X chromosomes, allegedly.
So over half of the women. Good times.
All right, well, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, I mean, you guys
I
are
was trying
right.
to be nice.
Yeah. Well, but that's the thing. This doesn't end well. We know this doesn't end well. So, on that note, we got this article to talk about. We'll go to a break. We'll come back, and then I'm going to really. Jump in.
Speaking of meds and all this kind of stuff, so I'm just going to say this. I know I mentioned it on the Gilded. I'm just putting it out there that, and I don't know if I believe. I don't know if I believe half of the theory, but it could be true. I'm not taking any chances. So I'll just say this for anybody listening to prepare yourself. So next Wednesday, I believe it's October 4th, they're going to do a national signal that's going to come through on your phone.
Yeah, the EAS drill.
And I, that day, am going to work from home, number one. And number two, I am going to put all my electronics into a Faraday container.
So think it's going to be that bad, huh?
I don't want to take any chances. There's been theories that have been floated. And again, you can look it up on your own. I don't want to go into it because some of it's a little, flat earth, but who knows? I don't want to take any chances, and I don't want them to ping me to know where I'm at, even though they probably do. But, just for that reason, I don't need to be pinged. So,
yeah.
Billy, may I ask you a quick question on that?
Yes.
Don't answer with anything more than a yes or no. Do you suspect a snap drill on that date?
I wouldn't put it past. I wouldn't put anything past this government ruling body at this point. Let's say that.
Can you help some of us that may not understand that term, especially in the
snap
audience
drill?
And myself?
A snap drill is when they've done a pre-planned event that is supposed to just be a practice run, and all of a sudden it turns real. Allegedly, an event in late 2001 that involved a few buildings and planes was originally a snap drill for the Air National Guard. Allegedly.
Shocking.
Hence why I'm going to be working from home that day.
Also,
anywhere near anybody.
Also, allegedly, there was another snap drill in a certain Asian Gulf right around the time when we were playing around in a certain Asian country.
Fair enough.
It's just a heads up. That's all. The supposed signal's going to go out sometime between 12 and 4. I hear that it's going to be 2 Eastern, but all my shit's going to be in a fucking Faraday box pretty much from 10 or 11 on.
There you go. All right. So if you're concerned, you got the heads up here. You heard it from Billy first. We've got a super chat over here on YouTube. Get that out of the way really quick. Thank you, Alex Patino, for the $10. If you ever served in the U.S. Army, we had this thing called hip pocket training, going over and over soldier basic skills, weapons breakdowns, studying questions for promotion board. Fun, boring ass times. There you go.
Oh, dear God, it is.
Oh, God. Yeah, okay.
There was nothing worse than days like that, actually.
Well, hang on. If you had somebody who was somewhat competent of a trainer, they could turn hip pocket training into something that you actually looked forward to. Unfortunately, finding competent ones was rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, really quick, just want to jump in here. Did see it over on Rumble. Don't want to leave you guys behind. Broken Pine, 284 for $25. Thank you so much, sir. That is fucking fantastic. Thank you. Here's some I have 0 fucks left to give cash. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate that. What are we missing? Let me check MGTOW really quick, see if any action's going on over there. Not
That's what she said.
I can tell. Yeah. No action going on over on MGTOW. Which makes sense because it's MGTOW. All right. We are caught up on the chats. I do want to jump into this article before we transition to the second half. And my second half, we're already running a little bit behind, but that's okay. It's one of those things. I'm in a mood. Anyway. So, let's see. Yeah, here we go. And I'm also trying to get something to download in the background for you guys, if you haven't already seen it. See if it works so far. Oh, yeah, it should work. Hang on. Damn it. It should be working just fine. I don't know. I wanted to show you guys something cool. Jimmy mentioned to me backstage, and I don't want to spoil a surprise for you, but there's something that hopefully works, and we can use it.
Is Jimmy in the backstage?
No. It was a backstage conversation we had, and I'm fucking up by the numbers right now. It was something I should have had prepped like 3 episodes ago, but here we are.
Yeah. As opposed to a backdoor issue.
Yeah, right. Don't want those. Those aren't fun.
Allegedly.
Anyway, allegedly. Dan Kildee, house.gov. What a 2023 government shutdown means for you. Okay, we're just going to skip through some of the fluffy stuff here and get right to the meat and potatoes. What is the impact on law enforcement or U.S. military personnel, active duty and reserve U.S. military personnel and law enforcement officers would remain on the job but be forced to work without pay? We talked about that. Military training operations could be curtailed, and the military's ability to recruit and retain individuals would be severely diminished. It already is. So no change there. They went woke, and now that military is just shriveling. How will the shutdown affect travel? Air travel controllers and Transportation Security Administration, TSA officers, would be forced to work without pay. Okay. Which could lead to long delays, long wait times. They're useless anyway. They're part of the Patriot Act, and they should be eliminated. It's for your security. Okay.
Well, the air traffic controllers predate that.
Air traffic controllers. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about those fucking people with the wands that do cavity searches and fuck around. You know, those people.
The ones you like?
Yeah, allegedly. Anyway.
Well, you do know there's that 63-year-old one at Denver International that's still waiting on Rhino.
We don't talk about that anymore. Okay.
Well, she said she was wondering why her
she used her teeth. I told her to take the dentures out, and she didn't. All right, look, I'm done. We're not talking about it. How will the shutdown impact FEMA's efforts to respond to natural disaster cleanup efforts? A government shutdown would complicate new emergency response efforts Of course it would. Funding for long-term recovery projects like 2020 Midland flooding. Nice. All right. Looks like Alex Patino in the chat says for $2 here, I sent you one on Cash App. Okay. I will check that. I'll check it now because my brain is much like Outlaws. I relate to squirrels a little bit, you know. It goes really quick. Let's see. All right, here we go.
That's what she said.
Shut the fuck up. This is why we can't have nice things. All right, Alex Pedino, for Starbucks. Jesus, really? Do I have to read this? For Starbucks equals unicorn cum and mermaid titty milk and tears for $10. Thank you so much, sir.
Oh my god.
What the fuck? You guys are deranged, but I love you guys. Anyway, will I be able to renew my passport? No homo. That's right. I don't even care anymore. We've crossed so many weird ass bridges in this show. I don't even fucking care. Homo suspicion points be damned. We got this guy, Ron Jeremy. He is just he's passed that a few times with that mystery koozie that covers that certain beer. So we've gone into that.
Where did the kitty cat come
just
from?
saying.
There's a weasel.
Got a cat now. He's got a cat now.
And he's got a possum.
What are you
Yeah,
talking
possum.
about? What are you guys talking about? I don't
What are you drinking?
understand.
Let me see what you're drinking tonight, sir.
Homebrew.
No, I swear
okay.
I saw a koozie.
Where
I
did you
swear
get
I
that
saw a
pussy?
koozie.
No, there has been no
Where-
koozie tonight. I didn't
All
stop
right,
for
fine.
my
Where
Fine.
did you get that pussy?
Which one?
That stuffed pussy on your chair.
Backstory. Backstory.
There's a badger too.
Guys. No,
Or is that a
backstory.
What is that?
Is that a possum?
This is one of my cats. It's
Okay.
a possum.
I knew it.
Is your cat inside the possum, like the ashes or something?
No. This was in my backyard about 5 years ago.
It just appeared there.
Yeah. And my mother bought me this stuffed animal in Arizona. But anyway, this one is my beloved kitty Puss. He was
Kitty Puss.
Pussifer for a long time, and he's been dead for 10 years now, I think, almost.
Mm.
But my
Yeah,
mother
all right.
bought this for me too while I was in the Navy to remember Puss.
All right, there you go.
But Billy's bitching.
Such a mom
He's
thing to
bitching
do.
all the time about me not changing my room. So here you go, motherfucker.
I just
Now
wanted
we're playing
to,
a game. Like, what's different?
Now we're
in
waffling.
Yeah.
Now we're waffling. So I'll
Just a
tell you
bit.
a waffle story. My stepdad, he decided he was a fucking weird dude too. He named one of our cats. It was a Burman, so not a Burmese. It's one of those fancy fucking cats, but it was a fancy fucking cat, and he named it Tuna Puss. So there you go. We had a cat named Tuna Puss when I was a kid.
I
Love that
love
cat.
it.
He was a good cat. So there you go. All right, now that we've had story time, let's get back to the goddamn article.
I like the story
renew-
time better.
It's levity, right?
Real quick. I know
Yes,
this
yes.
is way waffled, but so when
fine.
I was a kid, we had a cat named Tommy.
Well, of course, everybody does.
That's my
Tom and Jerry.
They're a
This just got-
tomcat. They're a
It just got
tomcat. They're
fucking weird
Tommy.
in here.
Yep.
All
What
right,
else do you
all right,
expect right now?
all right. This show, I don't have expectations anymore. I just press the button and hope to God we make it through this. All right, will I be
It's been
able to
weird for
renew my
over a year.
password? My passport. Fucking Christ. Renewal and processing times of passports have already been delayed this year, and some passport services could be delayed during a shutdown, particularly if they're in agency buildings that are shuttered. Okay. So I hope you got your passport so you can be a passport bro, which I don't recommend, but whatever. Buy a one of these fucking programs for, I don't know, $4,000 for a guy to tell you shit you already know and go be a passport bro. I don't recommend it is what I'm trying to say. There are better ways to live your life than doing something stupid. But what do I know? I'm just some guy on the internet. What is the impact on small businesses? Well, you get fucked in the ass, but let's read this in a more appropriate way. A government shutdown will impact federal loans to small businesses. The U.S. Small Business Administration, SBA, will not accept, review, or approve any new business loans for small businesses, which provides over $800 million to Michigan small businesses such as mom and pop shops on Main Street. All right. Will a shutdown impact WIC and SNAP benefits? Will single mothers finally lose their shit? Over 7 million Americans, including over 200,000, so this is from Michigan, 200,000 Michigan families who count on special supplemental nutritional program for women, infants, and children, WIC. Yes, because women need special treatment. Fucking hell. Would lose their benefits and turned away at grocery store counters. Well, I have an opinion on that because this is the Red Bill Rhino Show. Did you think about that before you left the man that you let inside of you? Did you think about that? That was the man that was supposed to provide for your family, not the government. The government's not supposed to be daddy. I don't care. I feel no sympathy for you. Too bad.
I'm not happy.
Yeah, I'm not happy. Too bad. Don't care. Will I continue to receive my Social Security and supplemental security income? Recipients would continue to receive their Social Security. However, about 15% of Social Security Administration staff would be furloughed. So if you have problems, it means get fucked. All right. Will my mail still arrive? Yes. Yes, that's a yes. Okay. What is the impact on veteran services? The U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs may close during a government shutdown. Isn't that fucking nice? Regular operations like career counseling, transition assistance, and cemetery grounds maintenance could be impacted as well. In other words, they don't give a fuck about you if the government shuts down. And remember, this is a bunch of elite bureaucrats that didn't give a fuck about you before, and now they're going to stick it to you even more because they couldn't figure out how to be responsible adults. Will I receive my tax refund? What tax refund?
Can you go
the
fuck
internal
yourself?
Still a ways away.
Yeah, the Internal Revenue Service has not released an updated plan for operating during a potential shutdown. But they did hire, 84,000 agents? Armed agents?
Armed agents.
Armed to harass you about your Venmo for $6 to your mother. But they can't help you, and they're not sure if you'll get a tax return. We haven't thought about that yet, but we do have a lot more people with guns for an illegitimate
So when the mafia
agency.
does it, it's illegal, but when the
It is the
IRS
mafia.
does it,
No,
it's
no, no.
legal.
It is the mafia. I don't know if you're aware of this, but they're enforcers.
Extortion.
That's the extortion, and then you have the police officers in a voluntary tax system. If you don't pay your taxes, because it's totally voluntary, a man with a gun will show up, and if you refuse, then the man will ask you to go away with a new set of silver bracelets. And if you refuse that, then he might shoot you, you see. But it's all voluntary, and it's totally above board, totally legal. The Federal Reserve is totally not a farce. It was founded in 1913 during a Christmas break. That didn't happen. Don't worry about that. Pay attention to shutdown. It's very important. Let's see. What is the impact on medical research? You mean they say Alzheimer's and cancer. You know what? Let me tell you something. I'm gonna just bust their balls a little bit more. You can ask Pop. You can talk to some of these other guys. Apparently, there are natural remedies to cancer, right? Curing cancer is a patient lost. Curing Alzheimer's is a patient lost. You know, when I talk about diet and alleviating 80% of the medical problems in this country, I mean it. They don't want you to know that. That's why the Diabetes Association still recommends carbs and sugars on their fucking diet plan when that is making diabetes worse. They don't want to help you with that. You know what? Research, they might shut down, probably not. They'll tell you they do. It might be for, magic new, bugs that go around and make you wear masks and all that. And then they suddenly have a vaccine for it before it's even reached anybody. Magic, they've already funded a new vaccine for something they've experimented on 5 rats with a new variant that just came out yesterday. Fishy shit. But they have money for that. Just not for actually doing anything worth a damn. Will farms be impacted? The U.S. Department of Agriculture would be forced to stop processing farm loans used to help our local farmers and ranchers in mid-Michigan get the help they need to start, expand, or maintain their family farms. These family farms help feed the country. We know that. What is
You
the
mean
impact?
the bribery scandal to pay them not to grow?
Oh, yeah, that too, and paying them to burn down their crops. What is the impact on food and prescription drug safety? The Food and Drug Administration, which is also a fucking scam, could be forced to delay food safety. You know what? Fuck them. These are the same people that tell you that red dye number 40 is fucking safe to ingest, where it's banned in every other country in the world, for the most part. Half the shit we eat, the Food and Drug Administration says is perfectly safe for you when it's poisonous to the rest of the world, okay? Magically, in America, it's safe. But these are the same people that told you that things like, I'm going to say it, horse paste was totally fucking bullshit. And it wasn't safe and it wasn't meant for human consumption, even though there's studies done that it had antiviral properties. But don't listen to anybody else other than the FDA. In other words, if they shut down, who gives a fuck? They're useless to begin with. This is the kind of shit that we should be voting to remove. But again, that would mean our elected officials, our representatives, our senators, our members of Congress would actually have to listen to you. And you know what? They don't. And this is where I ask you the question again. When is enough enough? Because we've reached critical mass here. How much more bullshit do you need to convince you that the game is rigged and you're fucked? What's the impact on water quality? The EPA... efforts to identify and clean up harmful contaminants in drinking water would be delayed. Fantastic. And then they scare you, and keep in mind, this is all done on purpose. They scare you and tell you that there's a brain-eating amoeba that's showing up in a lot of the water supply now. If you weren't paying attention, they are telling you that. So then they turn around and tell you, but we can't treat that anymore because we're shut down, and, you know, you should have just fucking, you know, done something about it, but we don't know what to do. Yeah,
It's called the Democrat Party.
I'm gonna get you a clip of that journalist on, was it MSNBC, that said it's our job to tell people what to think. Because I can imagine you needed to put that up about 10 times in the last 20 sentences you talked about.
A little bit. All right, we're about done with this article. Then we will go to a break, hopefully, with our new little thing here. Will I still be able to visit national parks? Where's the mute button for that cocksucker? Will I still be able to visit national parks? Let me sum that up for you. Fuck no. You can't have fun. The government's too busy fucking diddling themselves. You don't get to have fun. All right? Unless they somehow pass a magical bill where they can raise the debt ceiling of the imaginary monetary system that keeps everything together while they're fucking you in the ass. All right, let's find out if I'm right. During a government shutdown, Michiganders, never heard it called that, but okay, could be turned away or unable to fully access parks and monuments and campgrounds and concession stands could be closed. All Smithsonian museums and the National Zoo would close. Oh, no. Because the government, hold on, 2 seconds. They put a chain or a bar in front of their building and say, well, we can't run it anymore. Okay, panel, go to you.
Hang on, right now, you said the National Zoo is going to be closed. Then how's Congress going to get to work?
Right. That's the thing. They are closed. That is the National Zoo. You're absolutely onto something there.
I was about to say, how are they turned away? Because there's no park ranger or staff to turn them away. They'll just put a gate up that anybody could go pick a lock or run a truck through.
Right.
Yep. In all seriousness, if I've said this for a couple of years now, anytime there's a government shutdown, the people who are most directly responsible for it, Congress, the Senate, and the President, need to be locked in their offices or their office building without pay, without staff, until they unfornicate the mess.
Why the fuck put him in a nice place like that? Put him in a fucking ghetto. Put him on any bad side of town you can find, and let them sit in a fucking motel till they unfuck themselves. How about that?
No, Rhino, if they can't leave their office building at all, and they're not allowed to have their staff there to boss around, these idiots will lose their ever-loving minds.
Well, I'm saying lock them in a motel. Same idea, just a motel, like where the hookers and fucking drug dealers hang out. That's where you put them.
How is Nader going to get help to go to the bathroom?
Irrelevant.
He shits
Yeah.
himself for constantly anyway, so there's no worries.
Yeah.
Here we
that-
go
that-
again. Hey, anybody watching the show, do we really give a fuck about what Nader can or cannot do?
Like, quite frankly, if
No.
if what I was saying were true, then certain politicians like, oh, I don't know, Fetterman, McConnell, and a few of the other ones, they would probably have about a week before they have a complete nervous or psychological episode because of the fact that they wouldn't be able to get out to get access to their head meds.
Yeah.
Oh, Fetterman
Mando,
already
you
had
made-
that. Where he
Mando,
was
you
hospitalized
raise
for
a
depression
wonderful.
for a while.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Go
Mando,
Go ahead,
you raise a
Nathan.
wonderful point. Sean, you raise a very wonderful point. However, let's kick this up a notch. If
Ooh.
we reach a government shutdown, this instantaneously triggers an emergency special election. All 536 federally elected officials advocate their seats.
Automatically.
Yeah, because it's literally a
Instantaneously.
vote of no confidence.
Well,
Exactly.
but you
I
know that's
like
never going to
it.
fucking happen. Again,
Oh,
because they don't
no.
work for us. They're not going to listen. Here's the thing. I do want to. We got a couple more things to touch on really quickly, and then we'll get out of here. Well, at least to a break. We got another
That's what she said.
series of fucked up. What do you do? What do you fucking do?
Hey, why not? At least I'm not the one trying to break you this time.
Well, if friends
guys-
like us,
listen,
you don't need
listen,
enemies.
These guys are fucking assholes, but you know they've helped me quite a bit as well. So as much as it fucking piss me off sometimes, they're good guys. All right, don't ever repeat that though. All right, well, infrastructure projects be delayed. No, they're not going to give a fuck about your highway. They're not going to give a fuck about your utilities. They don't give a fuck about you. You rotten hell, citizen. You rotten hell. Because we can't make good decisions. You just suffer. Fuck you. Which federal employees would keep working during a shutdown? Well, we already kind of know. Essential, and they even put it in quotes. Essential, yeah, whatever they deem. Do furloughed employees get back pay? Sign into law in 2019 guarantees that furloughed government employees will receive back pay once the shutdown ends. Okay, I'm done. I don't need to read anymore. That's why I didn't even bother putting it on the screen. You get the idea. Here's the thing. Is the shutdown going to really happen? I mean, we could go down, I don't have a tinfoil hat like Jimmy has, but we could go down that road. October 4th, some spooky shit's supposed to happen. Mid-month October, people are supposed to run out of their savings and max out their credit cards and won't be able to afford food or to pay their bills anymore. Would a government shutdown be convenient for this government and just leave people fucking hanging? It's like, too bad. Don't know what to tell you. It would be very convenient for them. Do I think it's going to happen in reality? No, because these people are fucking incompetent. They could easily bring this entire country to its knees or maybe bring some fucking, mostly peaceful two-way rifle ranges to a city near you, whichever you want to, assume. But they're incompetent. They will pass something. They always fucking do. If they don't, I was wrong and I'll be shocked. But this is just a scare tactic. It's just a distraction to, again, keep you focused on the bullshit over here, just like magic. Will they do the bullshit over here that you're not supposed to be paying attention to? There's not going to be a shutdown. Okay, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll admit it. I've been wrong before. That's okay. We're all wrong sometimes. But do I think I'm going to be wrong? I've got about a 90% feeling that the government's going to come up with some bullshit to keep it open and raise the debt ceiling. Again, everything's going to be fucking fine. You're going to be paying more for groceries and gas and rent, and I don't know. Your boss is going to say, well, you just need to work harder. Maybe you need to get a second job or come in an hour late, stay an hour late. It's going to be fine. Just work harder, Meanwhile, you never get to see your family. Vacations are no longer a thing. Forget buying that thing you wanted for yourself because you can't afford it anymore. And, 5 bags of groceries is now $300. But what they fucking do? Because the government got to reopen. So it's all good. Fuck them. Fuck this. And as I said, I've said in a previous show, say no. But now I'm going to say my repeat phrase for tonight. Wednesday seems to be a trend now when I repeat words. When is enough enough? When do you hold these people accountable? Our founding fathers were pretty smart about this. They seem to set up a constitution in understanding that we've reached this point. Yet here we are neglecting our duty as citizens of this country to stand up and do what they asked us, they demanded us as our duty to do. We don't want to do it. You know why? Well, I don't want to fucking blame the avocado toast Starbucks people, but you're complacent, you're compliant, you're okay with it as long as it doesn't affect you. And that's the point. Most people in this country are not going to say enough is enough until, like the guys in the panel have already pointed out, they're starving in the streets with no roof over their head, and suddenly it means something to them. That's when people fight. But unfortunately, in this country, because everybody's fat and medicated, by the time they get to the fucking point where they're in that position, they're not going to be able to fight. And that was done by design. There you go. All right, gentlemen, we are going to go to a quick break. But before we do, I'm going to give panel final thoughts before the transition to the
Don't
second
do
half
it.
of the show.
Don't do it. Just go.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. No.
Cut it.
No.
Cut it.
Go,
Panel.
seriously, you want to.
Well,
Cut it. Cut it.
in all seriousness, because I know
That's what
what
she
they're
said.
laughing at, I see it too. But
Jesus.
in all seriousness, people wouldn't panic and be so scared of this shutdown or any other collapse of this economy if they didn't rely so heavily on the matrix.
Mhm.
If you weren't so damn reliant on grocery stores and other doctors, other people like that for keeping you alive, there's a thing where we have to rely on ourselves. Remember when we used to do that as a
Yeah,
country?
it's calling fending for yourself,
We
Yeah,
used to.
remember when we
which
used
is
to grow our
something
own
that
food
Nate advocates for quite a bit.
Yep. And this is why I'm glad that Nate brings it up, and why I'm going to start doing more streams on learning how to grow our own food. Can it? We need to get off so much reliant of the government.
Mhm.
Reliancy.
I agree. Panel, any other thoughts before we transition?
Yeah, if you show that video of the riots, that's basically what's going to happen when shit goes down. Stores are going to get raided, so you better have shit already packed away. That's all I gotta say, and a way to
That's what she
protect
said.
it.
Craven said, "Clean that gun."
So, hang on, Billy.
Yeah,
Since I live a couple of hours away, should I swing by a certain tourist trap to pick up some fudge, like what I sent to Pop and Blake a few weeks back?
Dear God.
Do it.
At least it's never
Do it
done.
now.
No, you know.
Oh no.
God. All right. You know what? We're gonna pop this up. Billy, your video. After we. Any other final thoughts on the panel?
Not currently, but I know
Okay.
what you kind of have on board, so I'm sure we're all going to have opinions about it.
Oh, the second. If you thought the first half was bad, the second half is sure to
Oh,
piss you
God.
off. Here we go.
It's gonna be
I'm gonna-
crazy.
I'm gonna go ahead and show you. I almost feel like we should go to New Tech, but I won't fuck with you guys. We'll stay on YouTube tonight. Fuck YouTube. They're not gonna, they already demonetized.
It's only
me
been
anyway, I guarantee
monetized
it.
a couple months. What's
No, I'm
another 3
monetized. It
months?
just I have to go through manual review on every single video, and they decline almost all of them. Anyway, unless I don't use a single cuss word and behave, whatever. Fuck them. Here is what Billy is talking about. Let's take a fucking gander here and see what the fuck might be coming to a small town near you or a big major blue city. Either way, everywhere at this point. Let's take a look. Oh, sound helps. Let's try that. I don't see the humor in this. But
That
anyway.
is an influencer, by the way.
Without sounding
who.
Insensitive.
insensitive, notice the melanin in the perpetrators.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and this
Push
is
around
just
you,
one
That
Video.
seems
video.
to be
Conversation.
consistent in several of these communities.
There is several of these videos of they're hitting Lululemon, Foot Locker, Apple, every store that. Here you go. There you go.
Oh,
New
Jesus.
cell phone.
You fucking idiots.
They're
I don't know what
stealing
you're doing. You're
phones.
just fucking yourselves. Yeah, you get the phone today, which, by the way, can be tracked. But you get the phone today, and you fuck the rest of society tomorrow. Good job. Good job.
So
Hope
they
you're proud of
basically
yourself.
stole display phones that, number one,
Fucking
aren't
dumb.
activated with no service on them,
Mhm.
just
still
to
be tracked.
destroy them.
Right.
Well,
Brilliant.
they're stealing. There's other ones where they're breaking into stores and stealing alcohol and food and clothing and you name it. Anything that wasn't basically bolted down.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Yeah.
Outlaw, we're basically seeing a modern version of the fall of Rome.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
well,
we are.
yeah. We're too distracted, and you know what? There's a lot to be said about that. I'm sure all of you have heard the term bread and circuses. The point is that was always set up as a distraction. So as long as people have their comforts, and keep in mind, I mean, football hasn't stopped. You know, baseball hasn't stopped. The woke ass NASCAR racing that's now sponsored by fucking I don't know, Dylan Mulvaney probably. None of that stops. And I mean,
Why
people are
did you
distracted
say
by
that name? You just
Bud
fucked
Light.
this channel completely.
Anyway,
I
I don't
fucking
know what you're
hate you
drinking.
now.
I don't know what
I'm
you're
gonna
drinking.
hang up.
Anyway,
I'm gonna hang
I don't
up.
know what you're drinking.
Fuck you.
NASCAR is focused on giving women and minorities a seat in the race cars.
That makes sense. That makes total sense. I
Who are
forgot it
the
was
worst
about-
drivers in our culture?
I mean, I thought it was about, you know, athletes and performance and knowing how to handle your car. I didn't know it was about, you know.
Well,
They
they're
already
wanting
did
to
that. They put Bubba Wallace in a car. What?
Anyway.
Did I
Hang
say
on.
that?
Anyway,
hang out,
We're gonna
Rhino.
care-
We all
we're
know
go-
those
we're
ladies
going
can handle
to-
something.
we're going to move right along here. Here's the thing. If it hasn't already been made clear to you, they don't give a fuck about you. And if that wasn't clear to you, wait around until the second half of the show where I really am going to piss you off. I mean, like really going to piss you off. In the meantime, though,
Hold on, Rhino. Here, this is what
You're
you need to. This is what
You're
you
gonna
need
have
to
to work
remember.
harder.
yes.
What?
On that note, I wanted to bring something special out. Jeffrey Paul was wondering if we could play this for our breaks, and I said yes. I told Jimmy I would do it. I just fucking keep forgetting to download it, but I got it downloaded. It's ready to go. So Jeffrey Paul has a new song out. It is a cover. It's supposed to be safe for YouTube, I guess, but it's a badass cover. I've listened to it. I think he did an awesome job. And here's the shocker. Actually, maybe I shouldn't tell you. Jeffrey can do more than just play guitar. I'm going to go ahead and play this for you. We'll go to break. We will see you in about 5 minutes. But yeah, this is Jeffrey's new tune, Moving in Stereo, which is a Cars cover, which is pretty badass.
Moving
All right, we are back, and that was a badass jam. Really like that by Jeffrey Paul. Audio seems a little bit different on my end. If you can still hear me, it might be the fact that I just had that banging jam in my head, and now I feel a little deaf. The volume all the way up. That's a good jam. But if audio is different for you, please let me know in the chat. 1, if it's good. 2, if it's bad. 3, if you don't give a fuck. Either way. Hopefully I say a lot of 1s, though. Or, wait. Yeah. 1 if it's good. 2 if it's bad. So if I see 1s, I know everything's all right. We do have another panel member that joined for the second half. 9. Number 9. Did the video freeze? At least it sound didn't. Well, we might have some latency issues. 3 and 1. All right, good. 1, everything's fine. And yeah, no, he can sing. He can fucking sing. I didn't know he could fucking sing. And I've heard the guy talk. You'd never know he could fucking sing. So that was fucking awesome. Jeffrey, do more of that. Like, fuck. I don't know why. Please go subscribe to Jeffrey Paul. He's on YouTube. You can also buy his jams. So I think he has the information on his channel on how to do that. But support that man. He is fucking well under recognized. That dude is a one-man fucking band. I genuinely, I don't know how the fuck he does it. I have no idea. I've never had, like, I can do art stuff, but I've never understood music. I had a guitar, never figured it out. And that dude does everything. Everything you hear in that track, he did. The drums, the bass, the guitar, the vocals, everything is him. So it just, holy fuck, dude. I don't know why the fuck he's not just a household name. But anyway, check him out. Go give him a like, a subscribe, and share his content. Share him with your friends, your family, everything. He's badass, dude. All right, we have Jackal with us as well, so we'll get back into this. And I'm going to try to make sure my blood pressure doesn't spike and I don't fucking have a heart attack live on air tonight, because this one, Sean St. George sent me just prior to this show starting, and
wait, I did what?
You sent me a thing, and it pisses me off.
Oh, I send you lots of things.
Yeah, but this one thing in particular, this one was bullshit. Get it pulled up here. Not that thing. The other thing. I need the other thing. There we go. That one.
You know the thing? You know what I mean?
Enhance.
That thing.
Enhance.
Enhance. All right. I'm going to let the panel kind of lead this one because I can feel the blood pressure. I can feel it. I can fucking feel it. I'm not fucking around here. Will aid still go to Ukraine if the government shuts down this week?
Probably.
Yes,
As
it
a
will.
federal government shutdown looms this week, some government agencies, federal employees, and programs are bracing to be without paychecks. While national parks, Head Start program, and Small Business Administration could be temporarily shuttered, one program that will not be affected is one that directs military aid to Ukraine. Aid to Ukraine is part of Operation Atlantic Resolve. The operation has been classified as an exempted military operation. As such, there would be no interruption in equipment, training, or aid sent to Ukraine. Our soldiers don't get paid, but they're going to still send. They're still going to send fucking money and equipment to a fucking country that literally is propping up a neo-Nazi regime. Mother of God, what have we turned into in this nation? You know,
Rhino?
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. Just let me get this out. Once upon a time, this country was the good guy. We were the hero. We were the guy that went in and unfucked and took down fucking evil in this world. Now, I'm just going to flat out fucking say it. We are the evil in this world. At least our government is. Okay, back to you, panel.
Okay, one, Rhino. We all knew this was going to happen. It doesn't help getting angry about it. It doesn't help going off the handle about it. None of us
No, you're
on
right.
none of us on this panel can do a bloody thing about it. As much as I personally doubt it's going to do a lick of good, I am keeping track of all of this stuff. And as soon as my paperwork goes through, if it goes through with this stupid shutdown thing, my senator, who's going to be up for re-election next year, had better pray he doesn't do a town hall in my city, because I will go there. I will ask him questions.
How about you just go anyways? regardless of the location, hold your representative accountable.
Oh no, the reason
Right.
I say
Oh.
the reason I say the location is because Missouri, it can quite easily be an 8-hour drive one way just to get to a venue.
Yeah, and the only reason I make that comment is because in Alaska, where I live at, the state capital, Juneau,
Hmm.
is there are only 2 routes to get there. You fly, or you charter a boat or a ferry.
Yeah.
Our state capital has done something a little bit ingenious and terrible at the same time. They made the capital somewhere where 90% of the entire state could not have physical access to them. And since our
Fantastic.
state has terrible internet and terrible other methods of communication, because we have such, well, Alaska is a very, 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 very big state. You cannot justify putting fiber optics in every village or even every big city in Alaska. And big city in Alaska just means 100,000 plus, which is a dwarf compared to the rest of the United States.
Yeah.
They are segregated. They know they're segregated. They like it that way. We know they like it that way. But they also know we don't have the money to go up to Juneau and hold a protest or make their lives uncomfortable, so they have to answer us. And they can ignore our messages. I've messaged my reps. I get no response, even though by law they have to respond.
Shocking.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, what do? They automatically. I heard something about this. They have a machine that automatically processes your letter, but it's never even seen by a human being. It's just a machine that opens it and lists it as read.
I'm not sure about that. I just know that every time I messaged any representative, I have never received a reply, nor we have received your communication, we received your email, or we received your call. No acknowledgement that my attempt to contact my representative has been acknowledged, let alone given a call back or any kind of, like, dude, I'd be okay with a staffer saying, we received it, we're going to take it under consideration for most of the things that I would talk to them about. I'm not demanding an audience. I'm demanding that they are aware. And we can't even get confirmation that they've been briefed or that they are even aware that people are communicating with them. Why do you think? Why do we have such low faith in the people we elect or who get elected, whether we vote for them or not? It's because of behaviors like this, which extends to Washington. Which, unless you're an MSM reporter, you don't get a call back. You don't get a conversation. You don't get an interview. You get
Crickets.
Nothing. I'm not going to advocate or say I'm speaking on behalf of everybody. It's just my observation.
You're not wrong, man. You're not wrong. Anybody else, panel? What are your thoughts on, again, essentially they just said, fuck you, fuck the government. Well, not fuck the government, fuck the military. You don't have to worry about getting paid, but we're going to keep sending money to Ukraine. Anybody else want to pipe in on that one?
I'm going to keep my own counsel on that.
All right. Crusader?
Yeah, we know you have to.
Who didn't see this coming?
Right. Yep. It's some bullshit,
Sorry,
man.
Spoiler alert. Some of us saw this happening like a year ago.
What, the continuing funding during a possible shutdown, or just the fact that this is it looks like it could be another conflict of, is it perpetuation? God damn, that's a long word. Or in perpetuity? Kind of like Cold War, proxy wars.
We had the quote-unquote continuing resolution that was done 6 months ago. where they were
Mhm.
discussing, they were looking at congressional budgets and potential government shutdown. I think it was in March of this year. They kicked the can down the road for 6 months, which pushed us till now, which pushes us into the primary voting headline and news and things like that. What they're doing is they're trying to elicit an emotional response during the election cycle to say, hey, pick me. We're trying to be responsible. Hey, no, pick me. We're trying to make sure that you get what we think you need. Oh, no, hey, pick me. What they're trying to do is emotional manipulation, and what they're trying to isolate is they're looking at trying to get an emotional response from the people who vote, and especially the low information voters who vote based primarily on emotional impulse. What they're doing is manipulating people for their own gain, their own power, their own control to do what they want. Be damned what the people themselves want.
Hey, Crusader.
Yeah.
Tell me if you agree with this assessment. This is almost gonna be verbatim from an old TV show, but this is said by one of the major characters on this show to a representative of a major warring faction. Well, actually, two of them. You're like two parents arguing in front of their kids to determine who's right and make the kid choose. Neither
Yeah,
one of you are
exactly.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Exactly.
basically, and that particular speech ended with essentially the character going, "We're not picking anymore. You need to figure out the solution yourself."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and here's something else to add to this. Not that I'm already spun up enough, and I've got to really watch it, man, because this, like, I genuinely don't need to put myself in the fucking hospital over a fucking. Like I said, the shutdown is unlikely to happen, but this shit pisses me off. There shouldn't be money going to Ukraine. But House Speaker Kevin McCarthy backed off on a plan to remove Ukraine from a massive military spending bill as Congress struggles with coming together to pass spending bills. You're right. What you just said there, neither side gives a fuck about you. It's all a fucking,
No.
Back and forth with the two sides of the same coin, And both sides are corrupt, by the way. Both sides are stained with shit and treason, but what do I know?
That's why it's
Yeah.
a uniparty.
Billy, I wanted to jump over to
a bicameral one.
Yes.
Sorry.
Hang on a second.
Didn't mean to step on
I
you.
wanted to jump over to Billy really quick and see. Billy, did you have any thoughts on this?
It's this is just the way the government operates, right? Like I've said, I don't know how many times they've convinced a mass part of the populace that they're competent. But, if you talk to anybody who's gone into government, they'll tell you that, they didn't get into government, to help people or anything. They got into government for the good benefits and the retirement packages and all the other benefits that come with it. So the government is full of people that aren't nuclear fucking scientists. Okay.
No shit.
They're not even like decent employees that you'd work with at a normal job, So to think that they can like manage fucking anything. Like if you want something fucked up, get the government involved. Like no joke. I mean, that's like people should know this, and I don't know why people don't know this. But does it surprise me that the government is going to, fuck you over, but still take care of a country on the other side of the world? Because I don't know, maybe because they're fucking laundering a lot of their fucking money through there. Maybe that's part of the reason.
Yeah.
Is anybody shocked? Anybody with half a fucking brain, are they shocked? No. But
I wish I was shocked. I'm not shocked.
There's so many people who are just walking around like fucking sheep and don't even like think about any of this stuff. And it's I wish I could just hit myself over the head with a hammer and just live that kind of life where I'm just, walking around like, hey, Jimmy, how are you today? I don't have to think about all the bad shit in the world, but unfortunately, I have to. I'm cursed with it, like you guys are. So,
Hey, Billy,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that you and about 2/3 of the rest of the folks on this panel would need a full frontal lobotomy to be able to live the way most of the sheeple in this country live.
Sign me up.
Well, it sucks being aware
Mhm.
of what is going on when you're no longer just blindly or passively ignoring what is going on. It is painful to see it. You know it's wrong. You know that there's a better way, but your ideas of a better way is either ignored, or you have mainstream media or these politicians shutting it down, creating mental gymnastics to say, oh, this is terrible because of XYZ. But you're like, or just like the whole thing with okay, I'll be tactful about how I say this. You get a certain prick in your arm to prevent you from having a certain kind of illness.
Right.
You don't get you don't prevent it from happening. What's happening is your body is being told how to fight against it if you encounter it in the wild. So the allegations that you get this thing, you won't have problems.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, the idea is it's supposed to lessen what happens. And for like 99% of
It doesn't.
every little prick you get, it does prevent you from having a bad encounter. But not going into the latest round of pricks.
Yeah, we'll stay out of that.
Discount
shit
that
show.
one. But it's
yeah.
just they rewrite reality in real time. And that bugs me. It makes my brain hurt. And I'm not that smart.
Yeah. Yep.
Nate is smarter. And I'm sure his brain hurts.
Yeah, I did want to jump over to Outlaw really quick and get your opinion as well as Jackal. I want to give you guys equal time here tonight. Outlaw, what are your thoughts on this bullshit? I mean, again, they're probably not going to shut down, but just the fact that they have the audacity to say, you know what, we'll still pay Ukraine, but fuck you. What are your thoughts on that? Outlaw might not be in the building at the moment. All right.
He fell off his chair, passed out.
He might have. On that note, we'll move over to Jackal here really quick. Jackal, what are your thoughts about all this?
I'm thinking that they're seeing the end of the tunnel for their scheme here, and what they're probably trying to do is pull out their trump cards, no pun intended, to move whatever resources that they wanted to smuggle out before the collapse. They know that this is, at least their handlers, the manipulative people that are just using the old fucks at the head on the forefront of the cameras. They know, they are aware that this cabal is being exposed bits at a time, and they do not have as much time left as they were probably expecting. So what they're trying to do now is evacuate all the assets that they wanted to amass before leaving or bugging out to some backup plan, whatever the hell they were intending to do. But I'm thinking that this is their last ditch effort to get whatever they wanted out of this master plan before the collapse of the country, because that's all this was. I'd think, I'd say speculate is a better word, that the intent was to vampirically suck all the resources that they can out of the capitalist country, get whatever they can out of it through corrupt means, then rig it to essentially collapse from the inside so nobody can come after them or copy their technique and take their money away from them. Essentially the similar mindset to, if I can't have it, no one can, and bug out. And this is like the last shuttle worth of stuff that they wanted to steal from the country before they just abandon the country to its collapsing fate. That's just my speculation, because that's what just seems to be happening, because it is impossible for them to try to establish a full-on dictatorship where they have armed troops keeping all of the people in here at bay and under their thumb. It's just not feasible. Even if they brought in blue helmets from all across the world, it just would be too costly for them, and they would eventually run out of bodies to send in to keep us quelled. So the only other option they would have is to just siphon away all that they can, then smuggle it to a satellite state that they have ties to, Ukraine and a couple other ones. I don't know if China would be it, but Ukraine definitely. Then once they have taken all that they can, they're going to pack their shit and they're going to bug out to where, God knows, but I don't. And that seems to be their only feasible option, because they can't honestly think that they can maintain full control of the country and its people, some of which are still armed and willing to resist. So the only other option is to bring in people that they know for a fact are going to butt heads with that majority. I mean, they know that the majority of those, if not all of those that are armed and willing to resist and aware of the cabal, are conservative, leaning towards Christian-ish. That's not a general statement, but that's usually what it's looked at, and that's probably what their statistics are showing them. So what did they do? They brought in a large amount of, as you said, military-aged men from opposing cultures or religions. So basically, they're rigging up other factions in a big old battle royale, and they're just going to bug out and just let it become Mad Max land.
I mean, you seem like you're pretty spot on there, Jackal. There's nothing I can add to that at all.
They can't just establish an empire here. It's impossible. It would require so much military might, not to mention good luck trying to deploy U.S. troops or UN troops on American soil without resistance. You will meet resistance, and it's going to be bloody for them. They're going to run out of bodies.
And understand they have a contingency plan for this as well. Useful idiots are the first that get shot when the thing's over. So let's say they bring in all these illegal immigrants and they try to pull off some fucking replace our military and a police force with a bunch of people that hates us, allegedly. Once those people have done what they need to do, they're done. They're in trenches as well. Okay, so these people are fucking themselves. They think they're going to come over here and get a free piece of the pie, and all they got to do is turn on the people they hate. It's going to be a good time. The government's going to fund it, and then they're going to be taken out next. That's how it goes historically.
They're the
That's
brown
how it'll go again.
in this case,
Exactly.
and they're going to get fucked when the shooting starts. Before the curtain drops, they're going to be the first ones to fall. That's just how this goes, because all they are just expendable troops. This is just like in World War I, where you had a bunch of fuck-off generals that didn't know what the hell they were doing, because all of them only had experience in previous wars without all the advanced technology that, revolutionized warfare in and of itself. And they're just throwing masses of bodies into the mix to just make it as much of a free-for-all, but not in dodgeball, that they can.
Yeah,
fucking
and Craven, I wanted to bring this up. I still think Biden wants to get those illegals a vote so they can try to keep Democrats in power one more term. I don't think they fucking care at this point. I think we're beyond that. I think they know the game is up. That might have been their initial goal, but at this point, I don't think so. And besides, Shit Pants Joe can't even fucking... I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to bed. Are you fucking kidding me? What's the purpose? What is the purpose? I mean, they could. They could keep a fucking a corpse of Joe Biden. I mean, literally a corpse, because I don't know how much longer he has. They could keep a corpse of him in office for another 4 years. What's the fucking point, though? They know better. They know.
Let me tell you, he ain't running things. This is Obama's third term.
Yep. And he said so in an interview. He said he would do that. He would have a way to run a third term.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys remember, I believe it's a Time article where the headline is, Joe Biden, just stay alive. All we need is your corporeal form. That's it.
Fucking hell.
I mean, it's a paraphrasing of the headline, but literally all they're saying is, we just need Joe Biden to win, to be in office. We don't care what he wants to do as far as the direction of the country. He wants to take it because he's not going to be the one who's directing it. It's going to be his staff or the alleged Obama third term, where Biden gets all the perks of presidency, has to do some photo ops, gets popular, gets the joys and cheers. But as far as actual governing, I have yet to see him do it.
No, not at all. Outlaw, I want to jump back to you really quick. I think you came back, and if you guys are hearing background noise, it's not your ears playing tricks on you. Outlaw, when he streams, he's got crickets out in the background. It's actually quite pleasant, but for a stream, if you're hearing that windy sounding thing, that's what's going on. But Outlaw, what are your thoughts on just everything we're discussing right now?
It's because of the fact that people are way too, like I said a while ago, we're way too dependent on the government. It affects us, to a degree that it shouldn't. We've got to get back to a state of independence, which is in our declaration, by the way, of this country. Grow your own food. You know the spiel, guys. I don't have to run it through you every time I say it, but yeah, we're not supposed to live in a system where we're this dependent on anybody else for us to survive. We're not supposed to be adherent to the government. They're supposed to be adherent to us. But along the way, somewhere we forgot all that. And they took it away from us.
We forgot all that. I know it's hard to pinpoint, but we forgot all that. I would say not immediately, but after World War II. That generation went through shit. They went through hard times, and they had to make do. Right. Lost a lot of good people back then, and afterwards the world was a pretty good place. And I think people at that point, they got comfortable. And this happens in cycles. They say like the 85-year cycle. We've talked about that on this show before. I think Billy did a whole episode on it as well. There's good times and bad times. There's 7 spokes of time. That whole thing. You have good times and you have bad times, and then there's good men create hard times create good men. That whole thing. You know the spiel. But after World War II, we came out of the hard times that created strong men. And then we got complacent. We got, they were able to take vacations. They were able to, don't know what happened back there. They're able to enjoy their lives. And, and then the 60s and the sexual revolution and birth control and all that. And we could go on an entire episode on that, so I'll keep it brief. People just stopped paying attention. They were asleep at the wheel. They were drunk and high on hedonism in this country. And it hasn't changed. I mean, look around, man. I can't go on social media without seeing just rampant hedonism. Every fucking buddy's me. And I guess it's okay to a degree, a little bit, tiny bit, maybe offline in your own home to go, yeah, I like me. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with liking yourself. That's okay. But when your entire marketing strategy is to be, how do I say, there is no way. You're an internet slut, right? And I don't just mean OnlyFans chicks. I mean, that is literally your life. Look at the poison, the cancer that is seeping into this Gen Z. You know, when we showed you that Cherry Crush chick that does the fucking, you know, oh, spicy, oh, yeah, that fucking thing. I'm seeing it infect everything now. You've got people standing out in Times Square doing it, men doing it. You've got gay couples doing it. Everybody's doing it. And here's the thing. This is like hedonism. They get paid to sit here and look as stupid as possible. And I'm not exaggerating. You watch this shit and there's just a part of you, if you're a normal fucking full brain functioning motherfucker, that goes, this is sick. This is disease. And by disease, I don't mean the coof. I mean, it's a social disorder. People are sick. So, yeah, we fell off the fucking cliff a long time ago. Everybody's so focused on them fucking selves. And, you know, yeah, there's Starbucks coffee and they got Netflix and they can still chill for now. People just don't care. And they're going to care. I mean, there's a lot of people waking up. I don't know if you've noticed this chat panel. I don't know if any of you have noticed this. But I have seen a lot of people that normally wouldn't have fucking given a fuck suddenly saying, holy shit, it's fucked up. There's people that never gave a fuck that are starting to say, I can't afford to live. But unfortunately, like we've been talking about on the show, I don't think things get better until people, unfortunately, and I don't mean, I mean, there's several different ways. I can't tell you. I don't know. But until people start dying. Maybe those sandbags that we talked about earlier in the show. Maybe then something will happen. I know that's a black pill, and I hate doing that to you guys on this show. I had to actually, and thank you, panel. I actually had to kind of sit back and do some breathing shit. It does spin me up. It spins me up that we've gotten to this point in this country. You know, I was taught in school what the Constitution was and the importance of it and the importance of our system and checks and balances. It doesn't exist. It was a lie. I mean, it existed once upon a time. You know, it's fucking sad. And then you see the complacency and the apathy and the hedonism and quite literally everything that caused Rome to fall, the bread and circuses, the distractions. It's fucking sad. I hate seeing it. And I hate seeing it in one of the greatest civilizations that has ever existed. And I mean that. And I know a lot of people say that, and it's a patriotism, America, fuck yeah. But no, literally, we were a great experiment. I don't know if we succeeded as an experiment. We had a good run.
It's still ongoing.
It's still ongoing, but it's not looking really good right now. And I hope, there's a silver lining, I hope at some point we wake the fuck up and we do all collectively say enough is enough. 2 seconds. You know, and I'm shutting up after this. If all of you just stopped complying with whatever, you know, the tax system, for example, and how fucked up that is. If you all just said no, what are they going to do? They work for you. Remember that. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, yeah, this is an experiment. And this is one thing that I know for a fact that the founding fathers, since they had a grounding in, well, I don't want to get religious on you guys because I know you didn't come here for that, but they had a grounding in Christianity because they knew that wherever righteousness thrives, wherever goodness thrives, darkness and evil will pine after it. Pine for it.
Right.
It doesn't want us to succeed. Think about it. The world is nothing but darkness in and of itself. Okay? And I don't mean the planet and all the animals on it. No. I'm talking about mankind itself. On this puny little dirt ball we call a planet and we call home that was made for us, it is in its base form, it is a sea of darkness. And for every time a group of people get tired of the shit and all the heathenism that we see around here throughout the millennia, band together and say, fuck this shit, we're setting shop somewhere else, and we're going to do better than this, because this is bullshit. That's like striking a match amidst that sea of darkness. And many times throughout history, it has only lasted as a match before it is snuffed out. Because what happens when you strike a match in a dark-ass room? Everybody in that room can now see it. You stand out. And what happens when when people see a light? They all flock to it like moths to light. You turn on a flashlight when you're out in the dark outside, when it's taking your dogs out or you're just walking out in the woods. What happens? You see a bunch of bugs start flying around your flashlight. They're drawn to it. Evil is the same way. You strike a match, it's like firing a flare in the middle of a firefight. You're giving away your fucking position. It sucks. It's inevitable, which is why that sucks. But that just means being part of the experiment where we have God-given liberties.
Mm-hmm.
You have to fight. Because the second you strike that match and you start producing that light, and God forbid you make that light bigger, you become the light atop the hill, that torch that's held up by that statue out there in the bay on the East Coast. That is the rallying point. All of us need to raise the shield wall, dig our heels into the fucking ground, and have the phalanx pointing outwards and be ready to fight. Because wherever you strike a match and produce a light in that sea of darkness that this world is, with all of the evil shitbags on it, you must be ready to fight, and fight to the death to defend it. Because keep in mind that all of those guys that are buried overseas, all the ones that are buried over here during the first war for us to get the fuck away from a crowned moron who thought that he still owned us, even though we're an entire ocean away. All of those men didn't die for their freedom alone. They were fighting for the freedom of their children. And here we are, their descendants, a couple hundred years later, and we're getting complacent and letting that rot from the inside. We're failing them.
You're not wrong, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're not wrong.
But we need
Very
to be
well
ready
said.
to fight.
I don't think anybody could have said it any better, and that about fucking summed it up perfectly.
Well, there are people who are fighting, though. We got us on the panel who are not tolerating this bullshit, which is why we're speaking out against it. You have the larger creators who are obviously speaking out against it, and the tens of thousands, I assume, of other unknown creators that we're not aware of, the big creators are not aware of, and especially MSM is not aware of, who are speaking out against it, who are bringing the light. Doing something Luciferian, bringing the light to the people. It's just a slow creep that hasn't been able to overtake what is currently happening.
Yeah. Well, and, you know, that's really all. I hate to be that guy. That's really all we can do. You know, there's other ways to handle this. There's tools other people have that I don't have. What I can do is bring groups of guys together from this community to share this content, to share ideas, to spread the message. All of you that watch, whether you watch my show, whether you watch Pop's show, whether you watch Outlaw's show, anybody that does content here, Billy's show, whoever you watch, whoever your preferred channel is, you know, share those videos with people you know. Keep pushing that message out. I mean, I don't know that we're at critical mass yet, and I think if we were, we might see some things pop off, right? I'm not going to say what. I don't know. I'm not a psychic or any of that shit, but keep spreading the message. So, you know, Billy did a video just the other week on the fourth turning, and I think if you haven't seen that, you need to go check that out. You know, we're heading into some pretty fucked up times. I'm not going to lie. But, you know, if we keep pushing forward, if we keep putting this message out there, if we keep saying fuck no, and again, this is the thing. Just hear me out. YouTube wants me to shut up. They really do. They haven't banned me yet. I just make another channel. I don't fucking care. Hammerhand does. Chronic does. I can too. I don't fucking care. I'll be here. All right? There's days, I'm going to be honest with you guys. There's days where I don't want to ever get on here again. But I know I kind of need to. It matters to you guys, and I can't stop. You know, this is something bigger than me. This community, you know, it's important for guys coming in, for guys that have been here for years. It's important. So, I mean, like I said, there are days where it's just like, fucking hell, man. Because it stresses me out. That's the reason. It's not because I don't like doing these shows. I don't like talking to you guys. It's because, quite frankly, I'm going to level with you. The anxiety from this is fucking... Sometimes, man. Sometimes I wonder if I'm going to wake up tomorrow, man. I could feel fucking like this pain in my chest while we're doing this stream. Because it pisses me off. I'm not going to get spun up and get belligerently drunk and scream about it. There's no sense in that. But it upsets me. Because I know that this country is supposed to be something so much better. But anyway, like I said, no matter who you like watching, whether it's this channel or anybody else in this community, or anybody that's preaching the truth, maybe they're not a red pill or MGTOW guy, but they're telling the truth. There's plenty of them out there. Spread that message. Share it with your friends and your family. And I know some of them are gonna. Do I have to watch this? Yes, you do. You do. You know, level with them, work with them. You know, take the nice, soft approach. But yeah, keep sharing that message. I think we're going to wrap up here. We'll do final thoughts. I had a couple of articles, but I don't think we need to touch on them. It's just Ukraine bullshit and Canada, Kanakistan, whatever the fuck, them doing stupid shit. I really don't care. At this point, I care about people here. And that's not to say I don't care about you if you're watching from another country. It's just, we got problems here, and I think we need to address those. And I think we did a decent job tonight, I hope. Do I think there's going to be a shutdown? No. Do I put anything past this government at this point anymore? No, I really don't. It's looking more and more like a communist shithole every fucking day. Hopefully we do reach critical mass. Hopefully we get to the point where enough is enough. And hopefully it doesn't cost a lot of lives before we get to that point. I'm gonna go ahead and I don't really have a particular order, but let's do final thoughts. Let's start with Tommy. What are your thoughts on the way out, sir?
The cougar shit is old. Quit fucking with Rhino about it, because I'm sick of hearing about it. How's that? You like that? You like
I'm
that,
sure
you
he has nothing to say against it.
I'm not going to say either way because I know you people. So, interesting comment. Thank you. Let's go ahead to the next one. Sean St. George, your final thoughts, sir.
So while it may be painful to be aware of what is going on, how it's going about, don't stop raising hell about it. And by raising hell, I don't mean do something stupid to get either yourself or others put into a bad position. I know you got to read between the lines when I say that, because I'm not going to say it out loud. Trying to keep you monetized.
We fucked that up in the first.
I'm sure, but I'm trying hard not to be the reason why.
Yes.
Talk about it. Talk to your friends who you think are not going to be like, they open up the debate. you talk about it, you bring the evidence, because if all they have is feelings as their evidence, then they've already lost the debate. And it's unfortunately upon us to give them the facts about it and the education about it. The things that we're saying are not incorrect. They're just not widely spread out through what are considered authoritative sources. When you start talking about who's an authoritative source and who's not, you're talking about propaganda methods. That is a whole other thing upon itself, but do what you can. Don't stop. And keep giving Rhino shit about Cougar Slayer Academy.
No, fuck that.
God damn it. Really quick, I did see a chat that came in. I want to get to that. Don't want to leave anybody hanging here. So we do have Broken Pine over here on Rumble for $15. Again, thank you so much, sir. I appreciate your support. Patterns of Force, Star Trek, Puppet Leaders. One of the nerds on the panel, can you fill me in? Because I am not familiar with specifically what that reference is. And I've watched Star Trek, but I'm not getting the reference there.
Oh, I brought that up. That's a TOS episode. Okay, so looks like the Enterprise heads for Ecos because they're missing a cultural observer. So, like, you know how they have the first contract or contact rules, where they're not supposed to, like, a pre-warp society is not supposed to have any interference from the Federation. It looks like that this is one of those where they're observing a culture, but they have I haven't read through all of it yet, but you know what? I'm pretty sure Netflix, there are a ton load of free sites that play the original series. So look for it on where we can, Patterns of Force, but it does look like it's more of a imagine a planet where Nazism is like the dominant form of government on the planet.
Oh boy.
And then you think of the 1960s Star Trek on how they're going to approach it, trying to rescue somebody, but they get captured, and you know their their cultural the words escape my head, but how they have to deal with a culture that's so adverse to theirs. Another one of Gene Roddenberry's like big metaphors.
Gotcha. I might have to go back and rewatch that one. All right. Let's see. Let's go ahead and go over to Outlaw. I want to get your final thoughts this evening. Sorry if I spun you guys up, but goddamn,
Oh, no.
I need. Yeah.
I have pretty much said everything I'm going to say. You guys know my spiel by now, so yeah.
Do you want to plug your channel really quick? I know I know you haven't done a video in a minute, but I've heard you're going to get back in the ring here pretty quick.
Yeah, actually, I'm supposed to be streaming this Friday, returning back to the cooking series. If you guys like that, come on over. We're voting now upon where we're going next. Probably Canada. I don't know. Who knows? We'll let the audience decide. But yeah, Gilded, Rumble, Odyssey, we're on Discord. We always have fun. So hit me up, man. I'm still working on getting my Southern Fried Nostalgia stuff back up and my Outlawed Urban Exploration vids put back together. So
there you go.
I'm trying to get that going for the next few days.
Hell yeah, man. Sounds good. All right. Let's move on over to Jackal. Your final thoughts this evening, sir.
Oh, if I can come up with anything conducive left in the brain.
All good, man.
Of course, put me on the spot. Come on, brain. Fuck, wake up. I'm running on 3 hours of sleep. This is great. Okay, so I had a good thought, then I lost it. All right, it's back. Fuck. Sorry, waffling.
All good, man.
So we are looking at another turn of our trials in strength. This is strength in our, well, I guess you could call it patriotism, but it's more of just our Constitution. And I'm not talking about the one that's in a glass case somewhere and metaphorically being used as ass wipe by the people in power right now. I mean our constitutions as individuals. This is a test of some it's for our faith, some it's for our personal constitutions, others it's for our morals and ethics. It's also a great trial of our patience, and it seems like a lot of us either really, really patient, which I highly doubt that if you've seen the road rage out here on these days, it's just we're too distracted. You notice that one industry that has been utilized and weaponized against the big population of any civilization, it is entertainment. And that's ironic coming from me, who's playing 7 Days to Die on the other screen. But that is the greatest weapon. For those of you who don't know about a certain Lucifer who decided to be a bitch ass and start this whole mess from the ground up, he was a musician. And what would he do with that music? He would woo you. He would distract you. He would convince you that he is the way to go. So, what do we see here? Bread and circuses serving as a distraction to keep us from seeing what is actually happening. They're putting the screen in front of your face, but they're not showing you the dagger that's poisoned that they have holding in their other hand behind their back. So, the only thing you can do is prepare yourself. And I've said it in many other times in my final thoughts before, but I'll have to say it again because apparently some people just don't get the fucking message. Pack up, stack up, and rack up. Prepare yourself, not just physically, but mentally. Because you will be tested. The shit that we're probably about to enter is probably something that in and of itself, it's basically something that we've already seen in countless other great civilizations that have lasted hundreds of years. Rome. But because of the force multipliers involved, it just gets more and more deadly. So the only thing you can do is just prepare yourself the best you can. And I don't want to sound black pill, despite the fact that my character is wearing mostly black, and in person I'm wearing mostly black now. But that's the truth of it. And usually, as the truth is, if it doesn't hurt, then that's probably not the truth. It's just a watered down little bit of hope, or false hope, I should say, you're trying to give yourself. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best, and whatever happens, happens. Just do what you can, because at the end of the day, we're all mortal, so we can't exactly manipulate the environment around us. That's it. I'm shutting up.
All right. Thank you, Jackal. Billy, I left you for last. You seem to be the voice of reason most of the time. So when you and Crusader are both the voice of reason when things like this are.
Well, you know, he pulled his Irish goodbye, so
he did. That's fine. But what are your final thoughts, sir?
Well, I'll try to keep it brief, but I'll try to keep it real. Okay,
You're good,
we could talk.
You're good.
We could talk about, racking up, packing up, stacking up. I know I've mentioned it. I know we could say prepare. Well, how do you prepare, right? So, you had mentioned, Rhino, you had said and it's this old saying that tough times make strong men make easy times make weak men. Well, in a practical sense, I'm asking everybody here to look at themselves. How strong or how weak are you currently? Okay. Bruce Lee, a guy I read a lot about because I appreciate his life and what he did. He would practice Kung Fu every fucking day, even though he didn't really have to. And one of the things he would do is he would punch his hands into sand. And what that did was to toughen up the skin and to toughen up his hands so that his hands wouldn't hurt when he would punch something. So we could say, okay, you know how to fire a gun. When's the last time you fired your gun? Seriously, when's the last time you took that out to the range and put some bullets into something? When's the last time you took a cold shower just to, see if you can take it? When's the last time you didn't eat for an entire day? Give those things a try. Okay. When's the last time you didn't, when's the last time you took a walk for a couple miles or a mile? How many miles you put down a day? Or are you sitting watching videos all day long? I'm not saying don't watch videos, but I'm saying in practical sense, how tough or weak are you? And if you're, and be real with yourself, because it's only you, right? These thoughts in your head that I'm putting down now that are going to creep into your mind as you're trying to go to sleep tonight, probably, think about them and think about how tough or untough you are. And if you ain't tough, as my dad would say, toughen the fuck up. All right.
Oh, yeah, man.
So, because I think we're going to be in for some rough times, and if rough times are coming, you batten down the hatches, you get toughened up so that you could sail through these things. Because I think everybody in here has been through some tough times in their lives, right? With fucking chicks who have fucked you up financially, fucked you emotionally, and all that stuff. So you know what it's like to be through tough times, okay? I want you not to forget about those tough times, right? And how strong they made you in the end, and how you need to have that strength to get through whatever tough times may be in store for us. All right. So I don't want to be a downer, but it seems that's what's tonight's theme. So I'm actually trying to be an upper and just think about yourself and make sure those hatches are battened down, and make sure that you are practicing getting yourself tough. All right. That's all I got.
All right, man. Well said. I'm going to put you guys backstage. We'll do the after party. I've put the links in MGTOW, Rumble, and YouTube if you'd like to join the after party. Space is limited, so jump in now. Scroll up if you want to find that link there. Billy's right. Everybody tonight has been fucking solid. Good fucking panel. Good show. I'm going to tell you, what he's saying is true. And I want you to think it on a smaller scale as well. Punch in the sand. I've seen videos where guys do that, and it's badass, but maybe, I'm going to level with you. Maybe you're a pudgy motherfucker. All right? Let's just be honest. Let's not bullshit here. What are the steps you can take first? Obviously shedding the fucking weight. All right. You don't have to start by running fucking marathons. Baby steps for a reason, right? You don't learn to run until you learn to walk. You don't learn to walk until you crawl. And some of you motherfuckers, and I'm about to get into that, some of you motherfuckers are soft as fuck right now. And it's nothing against you. Life happens, and depression happens, and bills happen, and jobs happen, and, whatever. Excuses are like assholes, though. Everybody has one. Okay. We're going to talk about really quick, and then we're going to get out of here. We talked about how people don't do anything until it affects them personally. And I know it's tough. I'm no exception. I'm about to explain. And I've explained it in my shows before, but stand by. If it's not affecting you, you go, fuck it, I can put it off. I can keep drinking beer. My liver's fine, right? You all know the story. I can keep making poor decisions. It's not affecting me right now. I can keep living a risky fucking life and being unhealthy and doing all these things because I'm fine right now. And my big one, and the reason I say that, I can keep drinking. I'm talking about myself. I'm not even talking about you. Maybe that is your problem, but that's mine. I can keep fucking drinking. You know, my uncle died from liver failure, but it's not going to happen to me, man. I'm fine. I don't feel, and then suddenly I'm in an ER, right? And my liver feels like my appendix is about to burst. That's how I describe it. That's what the doctors thought was wrong too. Nope. You had an inflamed liver. And guess what? I was eating fucking pizzas, pasta. Oh man, so many fucking things. Fucking Milky Way candy bars, those Twix ice cream things. You ever get one of those? Yeah. I was eating the American diet and I was fucking happy about it. Fat, dumb, and happy, right? Because that's the point. And I was drinking the beers, even though that's probably one of the most poisonous things. It's like one of the leading causes of death in this country. And they tell you, oh, a little bit of wine's... No alcohol is safe. None of it's safe. And I know some of you are going to poo-poo on me because I like my beer. That's fine. I like my fucking liquor. Okay, fine. Within reason. But again, is it something that you need? Is it going to aid you? Is it going to be something that you're going to have a hard time without when times do get hard and it's not available? If the answer is, yeah, it's going to be hard, then maybe work on eliminating it. But again, until it happened to me, I didn't fucking think about it. So I know telling you, the audience, that may not be giving a fuck right now because it's not happening to you because you're not in the ER. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't be me. Don't be me. Right. That's a lot of the things these red pill content creators, they don't do. They're the Andrew Tates and all them, and they got the millions and the Bugatti, right? I'm telling you, I fucked up. I do fuck up. I make mistakes. Don't make those mistakes. Get your health on track. Take care of yourself. So that if things still get really bad, and let's say October 4th and Billy's right, and heaven forbid, and there's an EMP and things go to shit, might be a little late to start. But it doesn't hurt. You could probably lose 5 to 10 pounds between now and then if you really took it seriously, right? Just take care of yourselves, all right? Everything the panel said tonight is absolutely correct, but don't think I can wait. Or don't think, I'm depressed today, I can wait until tomorrow. You might not have tomorrow. I might have gone in and found out I had fucking liver failure. And the doctor still said, and to this day, it was 3 months ago now, I still think about it every fucking day. She left me on a cliffhanger. It was, you don't need surgery yet. That yet word, that one word, yet, woke me the fuck up. Just 3 letters. Yet. Right? Don't wait until they tell you yet, or they tell you it's too late. If you're going down the wrong path health-wise, fix it. That's my biggest takeaway on this. You can't fight if you're fat, dumb, and happy. You can't protect your family if you're out of shape. You can't defend anyone if you can't take care of number one. Okay? Remember that. I will probably see you again Friday. Probably do a fun topic again. I don't know. If you have any suggestions, anything you want to talk about, it's fun. Maybe we could talk about Bigfoot. I don't know. Whatever you want to talk about, we could talk about. Send me an email, redpillrhino@hotmail.com. If you'd like to support the show, as always, it's members like you that keep this show running, so thank you so much. You can head over to redpillrhino.com. Have links in the description of this video as well, and on the website on how to donate. You can also send a super chat on all 3 platforms. And if you want to support Billy, scroll all the way down on redpillrhino.com, and he sells Bronto Lives Matter shirts, as well as squirrel stickers, and I think some other stuff on there now too. And that goes to him. So if you want to support him, by all means, you can also support him at billyvonbaum.com. But thank you all for watching so much. Really appreciate it. And go check out Jeffrey Paul again. It shouldn't even need to be said. The dude's awesome. If you haven't subscribed, you're fucking up. He puts out new jams all the time. And the dude's a fucking legend on that goddamn guitar. So, on that note, I wish you all a good night. Stay safe. Don't do anything stupid. All right? It should go without saying, don't do anything that's going to land you behind bars. Because then you're useful to no one, including yourself. And then you're just a slave to the system and you can't do anything, right? It's not worth the 3 meals a day. Trust me. That shit, it doesn't even taste good. So don't do anything stupid, okay? All right, guys, I'm going to head out. Thank you for sticking through to the end of the show. Numbers were pretty consistent the entire episode, so I do appreciate your support. And I will see you Friday.
We are the arbiters of this society.
Repeat after me. Public Works Secretary, we must maintain a neutral carbon footprint. Repeat. Repeat after me. We must eat the bugs. Repeat. Repeat after me. We must eat the bugs. Repeat.
This is a world that we create and manage. The people, they need to be controlled. We will give them truths, but only our truths. They are not to seek information anywhere else.
It is my job to keep order. So what you saw didn't happen. Erase everything.
You a grunt? I used to be one, and I was good at it.
I know. Things were simpler then. I have some questions.
You need to understand, we're being hunted.
By who?
Bring him to me.
This breaks the world.
Your story isn't over yet. There's still a page left.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon. And I'll do it cause it's what I wanna fucking do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions, they blocking your vision. But no, you can't listen, that shit is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're trying to make it. There's no way that you make it. And maybe you could fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Are you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Are you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Fucking fight back. You ain't gonna make it, you ain't never ever gonna break it. You can never beat them and they're better than you face it. Thinking that they give a damn, you're not thinking straight, kid. No, they don't give a damn, you got what I'm saying? I'm not fucking playing, I'll give it to you straight, man. There's too many others and you're not that great, man. Stop what you're saying, stop what you're making. Everybody here knows that you're just faking. Nah, I don't wanna hear it anymore, I don't wanna hear it anymore. All these fucking thoughts, they are not what I need anymore. I'm about to shut the motherfucking door on all you poor ass haters with your heads in the clouds, talking out loud so proud. You better shut your goddamn mouth before I do more speak out. It's about to head
You're
south.
never gonna make it. There's no way that you make it. Yeah, maybe you could fake it, but you're never gonna make it.
Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Or will you fucking fight back?